All right, today we're gonna look at some marked hands. Hopefully, Mike has some. I don't have any
Uh,
except bomb pots. All right, so these are your hands from Friday night.
Yep. We ended up making out pretty good on Friday, so we
Good.
pissed off a bunch of people, which was even better. But
How long did you play for?
about 4 hours, I made 370 or something at the end.
Can't
So
ask for better than that.
what's up?
Can't ask for more than that. I mean, anytime at 1-3, you're above 20 hours an hour over a long sample size, you're doing well.
Yeah, it's 1-2, but I was I mean, well, I'll show you on on the other hand. This was actually, you know what, we should probably do this hand first because this was the first hand I did. And this was so my table broke up and so we're playing this hand. This guy, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. Like he actually, I was concerned. Everyone was being mean to him. He was drinking a lot, but I thought he might have actually had some sort of like mental disability. So I was trying to not be an asshole, but he was throwing money out. Like I'm definitely gonna try and take it. So they
Yeah.
limp. I open to 7.5. Um,
So you're playing
bigger.
1-2, right?
Yep. So about 50, about is $15. Two limps. I mean, I could have opened the 10 probably, but people are pretty loose and, you know, I'm trying to, make them work for it. So I was opening a bit bigger. Sometimes I'd open to 10 if there's one limper. If there's two, I almost always just opened up to 15 because one, it would piss them off. And you could see as you're counting chips who is probably going to fold because you'd see them start like getting all pissed off right as I start grabbing chips. So I'd be like, okay, I can push them out anyways. So I'd open a little bigger, try and play bigger pots with people that were pretty bad. And this guy folds. This guy, so I'd seen him. This is a little bit of what I'd seen from him. He was like he really telegraphed his hand strength prior to the hand and after prior pre-flop and post-flop. So you could like he would grab his chips and like overhand smack them on the table when he felt super confident in his hand. And
Interesting.
he would sit there for like and tank when he had nothing or something a low bad pair or something like that. And he also I had seen him get ace king 3 times and he did the same thing the original 3 times. So like I knew what kind of saw what his range was. And he kept calling me Tiger Woods because I had a Tiger Woods hat on. So he's like, let's go, Tiger. And every time he said that to somebody, he basically almost always had ace king or ace queen. And I was like, okay, so he three bets me. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna obviously it folds around to me. So I call it because, I don't know if it's a great, but I have, some implied odds. This guy, if he has ace king and he hits nothing, he still gets it in. So it's like, it doesn't matter. So this is the flop. And I almost never do this, but I lead on this somewhat small because I know how he plays, and I know that if I lead, if he doesn't have anything, he'll check behind no problem. And I don't really get any information, but even with if he had like an overpair, he might not bet it, so I wouldn't be in a great spot because going into the next street. So I bet small to kind of try and figure out. I feel like this is going to give me some information. So I bet small, and he tanks for like a minute and 30 seconds. And I'm basically like, okay, I'm kind of bluffing, but I also don't think he has a ton of jacks or eights in his range. So like he either has an overpair, which I don't think he's going to tank this long with, or he's got ace king or ace queen or king queen. That was the other hand that I'd see him play pretty aggressive pre-flop. That was the only times he was raising. So, but there are some jacks, so I was like, I don't know. But this guy just doesn't, he just really telegraphs how strong he is. So then he calls after like a minute and 30 seconds. And I also want to ask you this. What do you guys think of this lead? I mean, I feel like it's a weird spot to lead, but that was my reasoning behind it.
Um, I don't think I would lead here, but um, this would be very play. This is a significant adjustment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
clearly, in theory, this is you'd never have a lead here. But you're talking about, exploiting this guy.
yeah,
Um, so, you're not, like you said, you're kind of bluffing, but at the same time, you're kind of, denying some equity.
yeah. I don't want to see an overcard come out. Is basically, and I'm like, honestly, I'm after he tanks. Like I didn't know before. The lead was kind of a feeler, and then once he tanks, I'm pretty confident that I'm ahead. But I'm also, it's like I know I might kind of be bluffing still because I'm like I have an under pair, so like I don't feel like I should be this confident that I'm ahead, but I was after he tanks. So then he tanks, and now I'm kind of like, okay, he's got basically no fives. That's a better card for me than him, and I bet out pretty large here to one try and deny some equity if he does have some sort of overcards, and two because I even if he does have overcards, he's probably going to call me from in my head. So I bet pretty big because I think I can get called by a fucking ace high, which is ridiculous. But this guy was like every dealer that came to the table had to settle him down. Like it was interesting what was going on with this guy. And as soon as he left the table, the entire table broke because everyone was like just there for him. We were all just waiting for him. So he calls, and now I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Because I'm like, is he really with Ace King? Is he really gonna call? And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of concerned that I could be behind, but I don't know what to. So then the final street comes, and I have like, I mean, he's got like nothing left. I think this was a stupid bet. I could have just checked and let him, push and call whenever he shoves, if he does, and I could have saved money because, I don't know, because if he doesn't bet, if I am behind, I don't lose as much. But I bet and put him all in. He calls, and this is the turnover. I feel like I played it terribly, but I was like, I won, and I thought I was ahead, but I don't know. It was just a weird hand. That's why I brought it.
Yeah. So, like you said, like the purpose of leading there is like you're not really accomplishing too much there other
Mhm.
than denying equity from like a hand like this, which, so I mean, if you check the flop, like in theory, and like you said, if he checks, he telegraphs his hands, you just know where you're at that point. Then you can start value betting. But yeah, I'm not, I don't know how. I think you probably got the max
I
here.
got, yeah, I
I
got
mean,
the
you obviously got
max.
the max, but I'm trying to think if you could have, if this would have gone another way if you'd had gotten the max kind of thing.
See, in my head, I agree with you, and I don't like the lead as much because I think that the only reason it would have been hard to call if he started to go crazy on me. Because he was like the type that, he'll randomly push all in to on a pot that's like 20 big blinds and he'll push all in for 200. And it's just like, now what am I gonna do? Even though like I could be ahead. I don't really, it's kind of seems like a ridiculous spot to call with an underpair and but this guy's a lunatic, so I don't even know what the hell's going on. So that's kind of what it was of like trying to avoid that. But I feel like I could have just led and he was going to call me down no matter what. But I think if I could have just not led, but I don't know if I get it all in, even though I really was confused on whether I was going for value or if I was bluffing at a certain point, which is why I didn't like the way I played this at all. But sometimes, you win even if you play it poorly. I don't know. It was fucking weird. I don't know what the hell to say about this hand, but this is one of them. And then I don't know. If there's anything
Yeah.
else anybody thinks about this, let me know. Because
Well, it's the lead that just takes us off the rails a little bit because you just don't know if he's going to like I was under the impression that it was easy to determine what he had because if he slams his chips down or tanks and he
it's
doesn't
true.
have anything. But then you said that well maybe he goes all in for 3x pot and then you're not sure. So that makes me kind of go
See,
wishy-washy on the idea that maybe you don't know for sure like how he acts. But if like you said, if you feel like because then you could just check and when he checks, he's weak and then you can evaluate on turns. But Yeah, the
So the
lead
main,
obviously is what kind of takes us. Because if you lead, does he do something with pocket nines or tens? You're still not sure, right? So,
yeah,
and he can also slow play a jack if he has, if he would have ace jack or king jack or whatever it is that he three bets you with. So it's kind of
yeah,
tough to determine if the lead is any good there. Like, theory says no, but your
uh,
exploit thinking that if you're going to get a read on what he does to that lead, then I think it's good.
it's so what was hard about it was so like when I say it's easy to tell, the reason I didn't think he was strong the entire way through, but also like he puts value. Obviously, this guy values hands very differently because he got in with ace king and with ace high like twice and lost. He lost to pocket sixes twice with ace king, and we were he will call you down, but whenever he's confident and he has something strong, he slams those chips on the table, like when you bet into him or whenever he's betting. But he'll call you down with anything, and he was just he was tanking for so long every time I bet that I was like, I just don't think he has fucking anything. But I'm also because like anytime he seemed to have anything, he was pretty confident in it. So I was like, I don't know where the hell I'm at in this hand. I remember when I flipped my cards over, he held his cards for like 10 seconds, and I was like, dude, just show the fucking cards. Like, show me I'm beat already. Like, I'm sick of this. And then he flips over ace king, and I was like, I can't believe I just fucking won that pot. But it was an interesting hand against a player that like I said, he could have been mentally disabled or he was just that drunk. I'm not really sure. But
What about the turn size only leaving 25 bigs for the river? Is that like,
that's I after so what my thought process, I think it was bad too. I think the turn size was poor too. I think that whole hand was played very poorly. Um, but I think that my turn size the reason I did that was because it was one to protect my hand because when he tanked for so long, I was pretty confident that I was ahead. And I was like, there's no way he's calling. I feel like I'm ahead, but I'm definitely vulnerable. So I mean, if the board pairs, I'm losing. So like if the eight pairs, I'm losing. So I'm like I tried to size it big to push him out. And when he called, I was like, he tanked for super long again. So I was like, am I still ahead? But like, I don't know. I think it was a bad size. I think I could have made that smaller so I could put more on the river. But I don't even know how to play against this guy. I mean, it was kind of just like I was playing a tournament, is what it felt like half the time because he was just so aggro that I was kind of just he was just so ridiculous. I don't know what the hell was going on. I was very confused, but I was like, I just kept winning against him because he just kept getting it in with shit hands. And so I was pretty confident if I had anything to show down, most of the time I'm probably ahead because he'll call you down with nothing. And then if he goes crazy on you, you're pretty sure he's probably got you beat, was basically what I was noticing. That's what I could say. But my read could have been completely off because I have no idea. I don't even know what to say about this hand. Sorry, this is just a bunch of rambling.
Was he three betting a lot?
No, he three bet a decent. eh, it seemed like he targeted his three bets. So like he would three bet pretty strong hands from what I noticed. Like I only saw him three bet. He three bet ace king, ace queen, king queen, and queen jack. I think was the only hands I saw him three bet. But he would also do it very targeted towards someone that took his money. So like I also was like not completely certain if he was because I also didn't see some of the hands he three bet as well. So I might have not seen he might have been doing it with bullshit, but it seemed like someone would take his money and he'd go all aggro towards them and just try to get into pots with them. And I
Mhm.
took his money in a hand prior, so I was like, he might just be coming after me, but I have no idea what the hell's going on right now. So
I mean, so I guess the point is, this is an unconventional way to play this hand. And if he is telegraphing his hand strength, I mean, when you look at the run out, the first thought is this is a really good run out in which to bluff catch.
mhm,
The 5 and the 2. And the pair jacks, reducing his frequency, ace jack.
yeah,
I would have played this hand as check call.
Hmm.
Um. If he's not three betting a lot. Then. His three bet range does include a lot of big pairs.
That's true.
I mean, really, I think first principle comes down to the fact that when you're out of position and you bet, it's very hard for you to get information. Now, live, it's different. You could get information from this guy because of the way he acted. He was pretty transparent in where he was in his hand. But I would check and evaluate this hand, and sometimes, maybe most of the time, I would hero call. Now it's harder and more uncomfortable to not be in the driver's seat. Here you chose
That's
to be in the driver's seat, but I think this might be a special case because of this player type, but I think in the long term, your better plan here is to check and evaluate.
I mean, my original plan when calling with the sixes is to set mine basically.
Yeah.
And when I missed, I was like, okay, do I want to? I don't like my thought process because I was like, he's just not the person you're going to push off of a weak hand. So I don't like that. I was kind of trying to bluff, but then once I started to bluff and saw how long he was tanking, I was like, am I ahead right now? Like this guy's he never thinks this long when he's got anything strong. He starts throwing chips out like crazy. So I was like, I don't know. I got it into a weird situation, but yeah, I agree with you guys. I think I played this hand so poorly, and luckily I won. But
So
I
when
don't
you
think
call three bet
long.
with middle pairs like this, you're gonna get a set 13% of the time on flop
Hmm.
on average. So it's best not to think about it as purely set money. Maybe a better way to think about it is that you are certainly set money. Sometimes you're going to hit pay dirt, but also, you have to look at the texture and understand what the texture is relative to his three bet range. And sometimes you're going to have a hand that qualifies as capable of calling down with hero calls.
Hmm.
And arguably this hand on this texture does allow for making hero calls against the right player.
That's kind of, yeah. I think I should have just been check calling like you guys are saying because I think this is a board that's pretty solid for me, and if he does get out of line, I mean, it's just hard to tell. I don't know.
It's
I mean,
more uncomfortable though. It's more
yeah,
uncomfortable not being in the driver's seat and letting him, the three better, run the show. But I think that's probably a more profitable line in the long term.
yeah, I agree. But yeah, this one was played very poorly. I mean, that was the first time I kind of started to get really off the rails throughout the night. Was this hand where, but I was just really trying to get into hands with this guy, so I started to play interesting against him because I wanted to be, involved with him. I was trying to isolate him a lot, but
Sure. Yeah.
um, because yeah, I mean, it just seemed like you could tell how strong he was based off of whether he's slamming his chips down or not, and then you're kind of in a weird spot. But I think I played that poorly. Ended up working, but here is the other one, which I think I played slightly better. But I also think there's a couple spots where I'd like to hear what you guys think. So limp. So the a little background of this table. That table I was just at broke up as soon as that guy left because he didn't come back with money again. So we all were just like, all right, I'm out of here. And I got put at a different table. And when your table breaks at this poker room, you can bring your stack. And everybody else had like 100, 150 big blinds. I had like 350, maybe 400-ish. And they were all mad whenever I put my stack down. And they were like, oh, you can't do that.
Huh.
He's from a broken table. He can do whatever. He can bring his full stack if he wants. So I,
In some rooms, you're not allowed to um put chips behind when a table breaks.
well, this one they were like from broken tables, you're allowed to play your full stack from that table. So
Okay,
it
cool.
worked. I was able to put like I think I had like 700 or something around there. Pulled that out. And I started playing aggressive right off the start. I got a couple of good hands, but I started playing aggressive, like we talked about, of three better fold and just making it uncomfortable for people to play with me. And I could hear them all around the table. They were like, I don't know if they didn't know I could hear them or whatever, but like, here he comes with this big stack. He thinks he's just pushing us around with bullshit hands. Like, fuck this guy. And I was like, great. I'm glad they think that because I'm not playing bullshit hands. I'm playing pretty solid hands and, just doing generally what I'm supposed to do. So I get this hand. I did loosen up a little bit because they're folding to me a lot though. So I loosened up a little bit and opened King Jack, which I think I probably can fold this here. But I
So you
opened
didn't open it, you ISO'd it, right?
yeah, I said it technically because
So
they
this is
limp.
1-2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got $2. This guy puts in his $2. This guy puts in his $2, and it's to you, and you make it about 15.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And is that what do you think? I could have gone 10. I chose to size up all night though to one bigger usually.
I
Whatever.
I use a
That's
bigger size live. I really
Mhm.
want to take a hand heads up. Especially this kind of hand, so I would use $15 here.
Okay. That was my thought process. I could have done 10, but I got a lot more calls from 10 than I did from 15. And I can also look and see, them getting frustrated as I go to grab chips, which is a good sign that I'm going to be able to isolate someone, hopefully, or take it down. And this guy folds. This guy raises. So this guy was loose aggressive. He was like, he was one of the guys that was like, this guy's fucking just
So
trying to
you
push
raised to
everybody.
$15. He raised to 30. Is that right?
Yep.
All right. And he's got about $200 behind.
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah.
And I could fold this, but I had seen him prior to this. He got into a pot with somebody else where he three bet like ace seven offsuit and then barreled all three streets and flipped over jack shit and lost the pot to nothing. And the guy that he was playing against has been with him all night. He's like, you can't, he said, you're not gonna be able to do that to me again. So it seems like he's been trying to just, get a bit aggressive with some shit hands and start pushing. And I know he's upset with me for opening so much and he's been trying to apply pressure to me back. So I call it because his range is so wide that I could think that I'm ahead of a decent amount of it. And
So this is a very interesting spot because you got a 2x open, 2x 3-bet.
mhm,
You have a
it's
hand that is a fold to a 3x.
that's
3-bet.
part of it too, is that it was 2x and I was like, it's so small and
I
this guy's really wide.
I understand your rationale. What do you think, Mike? What would you do here if you were
I
playing
mean, if
online?
again, if this is kind of player dependent and the player dependent read says that might be doing this pretty darn wide, and if that's the case, it makes it obviously a better option, or not better option. I would say it makes it a better. Like
I like a
normally,
four
yes.
bet
Normally,
better.
this is a fold. This is just straight up. You just fold this. But if you consider he's got a range that is going to have a bunch of junk in it because of the dynamic, then maybe you can start thinking about calling.
I like the four bet better when I relook at it to even force out, like, figure out. Does that seem like it would make any sense to you, or is it?
Yeah, I was thinking four bet too, but you've got like this. He's only got 100 big blinds here.
That's
So if you make it, what would you make it here? 40
Uh, you mean big blinds or dollars?
big blinds.
I would make it. I'd have to make it more than 40. Yeah, I could
Well,
make
if you
it.
do, then you jam.
Yeah, I guess I would make it. Yeah, I guess I would make it
So
about 40. Yeah.
that's why four betting might be. So if basically if you min click it back here, that would be 22, right? 23 and 28 would be, you're getting close to that sort of threshold of where you should maybe just start jamming instead. So that's why calling based on your read that he has a bunch of hands in here that you can still dominate makes okay sense,
Okay. I mean, that's
right?
where I was. In my head, it was like it was a really easy call. Normally, I normally lay down this hand all the time when I'm playing online, but with these people and the ranges I'm seeing and how I know they're pissed off with me and coming after me, I know I can probably call wider here, is what I was thinking. I would have
It's
liked it better if it was suited, but so I call, and this is the flop. and I check, and he bets 15 into like 30, about half pot. I'm not gonna fold with backdoor, bunch of backdoor equity and top pair.
Nope, just a call here.
Yeah, I call, and then this comes off, and I am now considering a check raise if he comes after me. But I also am like, hey, he doesn't have a lot behind, so I'm kind of just getting it in. But I don't hate getting it in with my hand, honestly, in the situation I'm at. So I was like, I could probably just check jam, but I check, and he checks behind.
Hmm. I would question your check jam too. I would consider just going check call, check call. If
Mhm.
he's going to be aggressive with the junkiness in his range, then that's great.
Okay. And this is where I get weird. And I make my hand. And the only reason I make this play, which then again, once again, I'm being, I don't know, it was working. I was playing very exploitatively, is really opponent based. Like this guy kept on barreling off rivers, and I was like, is he gonna call? Like, what can I get him to call me with that he checks the turn? I was like, not much, but I think if I give him rope, I can get him to bet into me. So I check, and he jams, and I call, and there.
Yeah, perfect.
I don't know. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm playing terribly, but I'm like, it's working.
Well, yeah, but you're going with some exploits. You know, in theory, no, you're not playing like, theory based poker at this point. You're exploiting your opponent, and that's where you're gonna make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, I mean, I made a bunch of money that night, and everybody was telling me how they were playing. I mean, I didn't put the hands in, but there's guys were calling me down because I was a young guy at a table full of older guys, and they're all like, oh, here he goes, just pushing pots, big stack, bullying everybody. So they're calling me down with dog shit. And I was able to value bet huge and make a ton of money off of them. And I was like, dude, these people, are they this bad? Or am I just, I don't know what's going on. I think everyone's just really bad.
Yeah, that's true.
I was just really stunned the entire night, but I was walked out with a bunch of money and I was like, this is cool.
Nice result.
Yeah, I mean, played interestingly, it worked out, but that was all I had for us. So if anybody else wants to show some hands, or hopefully they play better than I did, it'd be good.
Mike, give some hands.
I mean, I can fire up my usual hand review, so I can do that.
All right, let's do that.
Want to do that? Okay. Um, Let me go back and get my most recent marked hands. And again, I mark them just pretty much just whatever I VPip, and unless it's like aces versus kings pre-flop, I don't usually mark stuff like that. Stuff that's automatic, I don't mark it. But things where I have a question about, maybe it's a bet size, maybe it's a pre-flop thing, whatever. So I'll pull them up here. Last session. Let's go by date. Most recent. Marked. Bringing in the marked hands. Okay, here we go. Looks like this has a number of marked hands in its session. Right, ready to share. You see hands?
We do.
All right, here we go. This one actually had a note attached, so it says, oh, this is a potential nuffle here, so I wasn't sure. So we raise, and the big blind with 30 bigs calls. We get this flop. They donk. Okay, so we know what we typically do here is we call. Of course, we would call pretty much anything here. And we get the turn. Okay, we pick up a gutter, brings in a flush draw, brings in some straight stuff that could be here. He goes B50 again. And in Nuffle land, this is just a call. And it would be in theory too, I suppose, against anybody else. And then the flush completes. And he goes B50. So not taking Nuffle into consideration, we would get here this way anyway. Is this just a straight call here? Everybody just calling this like there's no just whatever?
Yeah, I think I'm just calling.
Yeah,
Or is there any overfolding to do?
it's weird he didn't jam. He only had 20 bigs, you know?
Right, I know. But it's not surprising because you saw he started with 30 bigs, and so we know he's probably, they're not doing things they should. But yeah, I think it's just a pure call, and I folded.
Oh,
Res-
good fold.
Results wise, it was good, but the fold, that's what I questioned. And when I went back and looked at the Nuffle strategy, it should be a call.
Is Nuffle, is Nuffle for like deep stack or is it still short stack?
Yeah,
usable?
there's a short stack addendum to the Nuffle strategy.
Mm,
So yeah, and it is different. It's different. It has some stack size, you got to adjust to how big their bets are and or how big their stack is and your stack to pot ratio and that sort of thing. And I
mhm.
don't know it like I don't know it very well.
What is Nuffle?
Oh, Nuffle is Brian, I don't know if you ever heard us talk about this in the past, but Nuffle stands for it's like an acronym that stands for neutralizing flop leads. And it's a strategy that's based on some MD, some data analysis on fishy players who donk the flop.
Oh, so and is that like what was the data finding about the donks with fishy players?
Oh,
Like, is it generally
it's never top of range.
okay?
Yeah. And so the strategy is based on that. And you can find it if you just searched for Nuffle poker.
Okay.
Comes from a coach. His name's Brad Wilson. He's a
So what is it, like all draws and marginally made hands, or is it mostly just marginally made hands?
what they're donking with.
Yeah, is it usually
Yeah, it can be draws, it can be air, it can be middle pair, it can be bottom pair, it can be yeah.
okay? So it's never
It's
super strong.
rarely top of range.
Okay, that's good to know. I was kind of always wondering because I feel like I don't actually know what the hell people are donking into me with a lot of the time.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and
the
it's
argument,
specifically to strategy against fishy players, not good players. Like you don't apply it towards, players that you consider good.
Okay, so and is the exploit basically just raising back into them whenever they donk into you? I'm
Um,
assuming.
no, I mean the actual strategy is you never raise the flop ever. You always call 100% of your range. And then once you get to the river, you start making some decisions on what to do. But if
That's
you, yeah,
weird.
you should check it out. Look it up. Brad Wilson is his name. He's former pokercoaching.com coach. And there's a couple of us that utilize it, and it's ridiculously profitable.
Is it how do you spell it? F
Nuffle.
L E strategy. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna look into this. Brad. Wilson. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Next hand. Fours, we raise. We get a call from another short stack. 50 big blind stack here. Donks. Okay, now this one we're going to be applying Nuffle. And so we call. We get another flush completer. And he goes bigger-ish, B70. Knuffle, I'm not applying a short stack Knuffle here. He started with 50, so I don't think short stack Knuffles really apply unless they're at 40 or less. When he bets a turn here, we are calling any pair, which we did. So it's already starting to feel kind of gross, but this is what the data says, and following the data. And we get I don't know, kind of a good river, I guess, maybe kind of. And he goes the B50 route again. We saw what happened last hand. This is totally unrelated to the last hand, but what are we doing here? I know what Knuffle says to do.
I'm
Knuffle says to
snapping.
call.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. You can't
Um,
hold sets.
no, yeah. So this, I mean, having a set here makes it easy. What if we had, shoot, we could have an overpair here without a heart. We could have ace nine.
Tens.
We could have ace eight without a
Hmm.
heart. Yeah, the four made it easier to call. And in this case, we were good.
Oh, wait, he didn't. That was
Yeah, he had top of range this time. Now,
He's
again, this is
10.
all just based on tendencies. Of course, they can show up with top of range, and they do occasionally, but it's, first, 8 out of 10 times they don't. But sometimes they do.
Going thin on the river too. Was he like bluffing or
He probably didn't know, right? They probably don't know what they're doing. He
that's what
probably
I'm learning. It seems like nobody knows what
sometimes
they're
people
doing.
just get tilted too when their good hands end up possible losers. They just freak out, They're like,
uh,
oh, I had the
Ma-
best hand. I should have been the winner.
How much more angry do you think he got when he saw he didn't lose to a
Oh,
flush?
so-
He lost to a set
Yeah,
that was on the river.
it's so mad.
yeah, you rivered me, you lucky bastard. So that was a nice coincidental two Knuffle hands. I don't know if I have any more. I don't remember any more showing up. All right, so we get a min raise from another short stack. A6. I think this is where the initial decision comes in. So the short stack, if this was a bigger stack, I would be raising. I would be three betting. However, I don't know if we should be three betting this hand versus
Oh
this
yeah,
stack.
That's a tough one.
do it.
And if we,
Boy, it's like min raise, and you can get it in at low SPR. It's like tournament raise. Fuck it,
so make it like five,
6. Like,
six.
yeah.
I went a different route. I just decided, you know what? I'm going to play a little different. I'm just going to call and play a suited ace in position. No real threats except for this guy. But the fact that he's short stacked also, I think, kind of protects us from getting three bet from, somebody
How
screwing around.
many hands do you got on villain four?
Villain four, I have 48. So he's tight and
It just sucks
Yeah,
that
I
there's
like your
other,
call better than he's
it
tight.
just sucks that there's other short stacks that can like squeeze jam
mm-hmm.
28, 48.
I
Yeah, I
agree.
like the call. The calls, especially with him being as tight as he is. I mean,
So we get this flop and it goes with a donk and a call. And then, yeah, I think my decision was I marked it just to determine what I should do pre-flop. So at this point, I'm done. So that one's
Alright.
easy.
You mark
What
it
are
'cause
they?
you hit the
Do we
backdoor
see the
flush.
hands? What is this guy done
Let's see
with?
the donk queen.
and not top of range.
Yeah, I mean, this is an argument for three betting, right? I mean, results oriented. Queen eight probably falls out.
Sevens
I like fold
just
three bet, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's definitely one of those.
I would
Evans?
actually tend towards fold, frankly, but I think it's fold 3-bet. But I'm tight as fuck.
But
But when
playing
it's
playing for a nut flush multi-way isn't always horrible either.
Yeah, 3% of the time it's a dream come true.
so when you're against the short stacks here, you're not gonna obviously. I'm sorry, I'm still going through. You don't want to play as many implied odd hands against, stacks like that, right?
No,
Because
you
you're just
don't.
gonna not be able to realize your equity when they jam. I'm assuming that's the reasoning,
And I
mostly.
also tighten up my 3-bet range too. Like, maybe that's not good. Like Larry says, Larry says he's folding. Some of us are saying we can, 3-bet here, but I do tighten up against short stacks. Like I don't use the implied hands, the
Yeah.
implied odds type hands.
Yeah,
And I
your
feel,
big, your Broadway cards are worth a lot more.
yeah.
Get a hand like King Jack, would you be more
Mm.
inclined to 3-bet that, or would you just fold it?
If I had King Jack suited, I would 3-bet, and my three
Hmm.
bet size would be like 5 or 5.5
Okay.
to this particular guy's open.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I just don't love how tight he is and why. I mean, that's why I kind of am starting to route towards Larry of just fold or. Well, I like to call then because he's so tight and, I don't know.
They have three
It's a tough
hands.
spot.
Yeah, that's why we're discussing it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would think better fold first, and then he is tight. Um,
Which leans you to fold, right?
which leads me to fold, frankly.
Yeah.
But he limp three hands.
He did. I don't know if those 3 hands limp.
Hmm.
Okay, we got a bunch of limpers and we have pocket sevens in the small blind. We have pretty tight-ish stats from these two guys and then a loose passive guy over here.
Dog shit ranges.
So, pocket
This is,
sevens, I feel like I'm like kind of like borderline here. Like if I had
yeah, I think seven's a cuspy. I think nine's a pure. I, I can go either way there. I think, frankly, you're more aggressive than me. I think that you might take this as an ISO, and I think that's fine.
Yeah, I do. And then yeah, like you're talking, Larry. Feel like if I had fives here, I would just complete. If I had
Yeah,
sixes, I would like think about it. Sevens, I think I was pretty clear that I would just do that.
yeah, I think this is fine.
And like you said, certainly nines for sure. And we get limp
Ah,
re-raised. We get limp re-raised.
so this, you've 13 hands on this player. This is an interesting spot.
So,
So, you
I
notice,
mean, the rest of the action makes it easy, but I was wondering what I would do if it got back around to me. Now that he's called, I'm out.
yeah,
Right? That makes it easy, right? He's all in basically.
yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. I mean, you don't have any, I think it gets interesting if he's got a full stack, and then your implied odds are even bigger
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
or even better. But I think when he's all in, fold is fine. Yeah, that makes sense. That's an interesting limp and raise shot. I would think if I was gonna limp, I would limp shove that. But, um, yeah, I think that's an easy fold once he repops.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so the sevens was or the pre-flop decision there, the first one was kind of where I was like, what's my what's my range there? That's what I like to kind of discuss. Like even though the sevens for me that was a natural ISO, but then I wonder what others would do, you know? So I like to see what
Sure.
what we
Well,
think.
yeah, I mean, as I said before, I'm a tighter player. I think I start with nines. I think sevens are fine though. I think like sevens and our eights are generally really cuspy hands. Even if you look at tournament play, when you look at short stack reshoves, it's always around the sevens and eights.
Small blind ace queen off to an early position min open. I think I know, or and certainly at the time, I was thinking if what the solver would do here. And I'm pretty sure they are calling and not three betting, at least not very often.
Sense.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, yeah, ace queen and small blind. To a min, too, it's not like much dead money,
I
you know?
think with your rake, you're three bet fold, frankly.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Because I don't call in the small blind very often. However, I do remember studying some of these because I've been getting a lot of these min opens. Heck, even to 2.5 from early position, the small blind does get some calls with like kind of that top range of not totally top, but like jacks and even queens don't three bet very often. I haven't confirmed this, so this is like when I do my reviews, I kind of look at this and go, what should we do? But yeah, that's what I was curious what you guys thought here. Larry, you're on the three better fold camp.
Yeah, eight-handed, I think, frankly, an eight-handed, I think I mostly fold against an EP open. It seems tight to fold ace queen here, off. But it depends on the player too. I mean, so he's a little bit wide.
His pre-flop raising is not wide.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Lots of limp.
PR is PFR.
I want to see heroes one limp.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chart does say it's a straight fold.
I know it seems crazy, doesn't it? But, and it's gonna depend on your rake a lot. Yeah, we're mixing.
Alright.
We're very different with this hand.
Yeah.
At least the
But there's
poker
calls.
coaching chart.
Yeah, here's that range I remember like seeing, which kind of surprised me. Like I was kind of surprised to see queens doing as much calling as it does. All
So
right.
let's just do a level set here. Let's see what his, if you don't mind, like, let's see what his UTG plus one, UTG one as they call it, raising range is. So it's 12% of hands. It's a pretty tight range, right? In theory.
Yes, it should be. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I'm curious if, since we see that you can go any of the three ways, I wonder exploitatively which one is better, assuming you're exploiting somebody who has a tighter range than this. If it's
Yeah,
a
that's
tighter
always the
range than
question.
this, it's a fold, right?
Yeah, I guess a tighter range, it's a fold. I mean, I think, yes.
Yeah.
Against a looser range, it becomes more of a three bet. Oh, but it also depends on player type.
At that live game I played, I'm three betting the hell out of this hand.
Yeah.
Like online, maybe not, but at that live game, this is getting three bet like crazy.
All right, let's see if I have any decision points. So, it's probably not donking, although I bet since we've done some multi-way solver stuff in the past, this probably gets to donk in some frequency, but I'm never going to do it. So it goes check, check.
Maybe with like the ace of diamonds.
Yeah, with the ace of diamonds for sure. And then we get a pot. I think we're done.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
done. Nice bet, sir.
Yeah, it just goes fold. So that was the only real decision point was pre-flop.
Protecting
And-
his weak base. Is it weak?
Yeah, I'd
hand?
imagine
Yeah,
if you
makes sense.
call it and he hits a queen.
He's offering you 30 for good fold.
So this doesn't really line up with his numbers, right? This weird hand to see based on what his numbers tell us.
There's a weird hand to say.
I love suited hands.
Hmm.
It also could be an indication that 68 hands just isn't that much to, makes real obvious concrete reads. So you're going to have anomalies and things that don't quite fit into the narrative. Next hand. Okay. Okay, this is just probably a pre-flop range question for me versus a min.
So
I
we
think
looked at this a while ago, right? And then all of a sudden, these do begin to fall in.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. We just had a similar hand that we looked at to a 2x open from the cutoff. And yeah, they were kind of like this. Because I thought it was pretty loose. Like I was like, I don't know if I want to defend 7-8 off here. But should we? Should we be defending 7-8 off? And the answer is, sometimes. No information on anybody. So it's only 3 hands in. So
The information is he opens 2 big blinds.
Smell it.
check, check. Okay, so maybe I have more decisions to make here.
Hmm.
I probably was gonna bet if I didn't hit this ace or hit this 8. So now I think I just check.
Create marginal showdown.
Yeah.
Check, check.
Ugh,
And
not the flush, the king.
now is it do we bluff? Do we just check and
Bluff.
evaluate? That's probably check and evaluate is what most
Yeah.
of us would do
Yeah, check call.
Yeah, just snap it.
to this size.
Yeah.
I'd call bigger than that too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
Exactly what it felt like. Something like that.
Yeah, I kind of thankfully he didn't go bigger because I probably would have called.
Would you ever use a block bet here? It's hard to use a block bet when the pot is only wherever it was, 2.5 big blinds, but 4. Would you ever use like
Exactly, one big
1, yeah,
blind.
or 1.5?
Yeah, would I ever on this with this hand? I don't think so, but I
Okay.
think I would if I had what else could we block with? Like, is this a spot to block? What would be a hand we would block with, assuming we're blocking balanced?
So you would mix it with your, I mean, so you've got more flushes here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
way
you
more.
mix it with your like low flushes.
And the problem I have with blocking is that they're just gonna call so often with their ace-x hands.
Yeah. It's
So
true.
they're ace-x, so they check all the way to the river. Like that's not very many though, I don't think. They didn't bet
Yeah.
at all.
Right. The fact that
They
they
have a lot
checked
of ace.
to
Yeah.
the river tells us maybe that they don't have a lot of ace-x.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why I like to check more, and depending on the player, giving them a chance to come after you a little bit,
Oh yeah,
get more
no,
money in.
it happens, Brian, for sure. Like I would be here, I would have ace-x if I had ace 7 or some kind of weak ace. I absolutely could get to the river without betting so far.
Yeah. And that's why, like when you do have that low flush, I like to check. And now they're like, okay, I'm good. Even if they have an 8 or, they just turn a king on the end and they're like, all right, my king's good. I'm going to get after it.
Let me,
I might call it.
let me throw a
I
curveball out here. Let's say you had the, 8 of spades, 7 of clubs. And then they use this half size bet on river. Do we ever turn our hand into a check raise bluff?
Mm,
Using the principle that now if they bet, we probably can't win, but we can potentially bluff them off their hand when in theory we have more flushes. And we have a flush blocker.
yeah.
Is the
I just
eight
think it's
of spades a relevant flush blocker? It is because it takes away some of their value, but what if, I mean, if you have the queen of spades,
I think yeah, 10 of spades would be better too.
10 of spades, 8.
Like king 10, ace 10. Well, He's-
Yeah, have like
Yeah.
queen eight off.
That's
I
like,
like- I did have a question too, Mike. Whenever you said on the turn, you said you were gonna bet if you didn't hit the 8, and I wanted to know like your thought process there on why you want to turn this hand into a semi bluff or into a bluff, basically.
I think it's because let me make sure I
You're good.
understand
Go
the
ahead.
question while I
Well,
multitask.
go ahead and do what you're doing.
Um,
We'll ask you after.
on the turn, I was going to bet because when they go check, check, I just feel like they're not protecting very as well as they should be. And so it's just a bluff.
I guess I
Right.
need to mix in
High
more
bluff.
like I need to mix in more just absolute air bluffs then, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, no,
Bottom
no
of
doubt.
range, yeah.
Yeah. And I would
Because
go big. I would
like
probably
if it
go B75 or pot.
Mhm.
if it was a 5, I'm probably gonna I might turn it into a bluff. Like if it turned a 5 and I have a gutter.
That's a good bluff.
But like I guess I need to find more of just absolute air.
Yeah, and that's total over bluff. Like if I do it, like a total over bluffing because I could have way better bluffs, but it's probably purely exploitative
Yeah.
when
And you
I
have
do
no
it.
showdown, so it isn't a bad option to turn into one. Do you give up if they call you? Do you give up on that river? I mean, I feel like you have to give up on that King River.
I don't know that I would. I don't-
Yeah, with a spade coming out, that's like for you, for all your
That's true.
bluffs.
It's true. There's a lot more space that you're gonna have, especially when it's a king of spades.
So in theory, we don't even have a. How do we not have? Oh, because this is not a min. This is not a min. It's a cutoff is 2.3. So we don't have this. We could let's say we have 8-9. Would that be comparable? Could be 8-9 could be kind of comparable, right? And they just want to check now that we've gotten there. Um,
Mhm.
and those and their kings, of course, are still checking, I'm sure. Did they bet all their? No, they checked, right? They check, and then we check here. They're probably going to check their kings, maybe bet sometimes. Nope, they still just pure check. And then king of spades, our 9-8, I'm guessing just wants to show down. It does. What are the bluffs, Larry? Any spade bluffs?
Um, well, we can filter, let's
Nine
filter
six.
for no main, filter for weak hands. Go down,
Queen
scroll all
Jack,
the way
Queen
to the
10,
bottom.
Jack 10.
Um, like we can look at equity 0 to 25.
10-9.
Loves the threes too.
So it's gonna do it with like spade blockers, right? Like, so like. So you can do if you, and then like,
Yeah, there's the queen.
Jack.
Is yeah. See, there's the queen of
Mhm.
spades,
And then a queen jack here,
jack of spades.
you know.
That's
Anytime. 10-9.
I guess that's the weakest spades we use because we don't have any other
Yeah.
like the 8 of spades not good enough.
It's the queen of spades. And then maybe some
And
stuff around
2,
blocking Broadway, but they don't have 5-3s.
the 5-2. Kind of
Blocking set maybe. So if we check here. Yeah, let's clear the filters, if you don't mind, sir. And then there, I don't think we're gonna have any check raise plus here. But, because they use a B75 or what a B78. And then if we filter again, no, well, equity, there we go, equity 25 to 50%. And then we can see, we're doing it sometimes with the king. It looks like. No, that's the weak hand now.
Queen of spades.
So our second pair and our flush blocker is mixing. That's pretty
Or
complex.
9-8.
That's
9-8
advanced
has
class. Yeah, let's look at our 9-8. It's doing something in there.
It is.
It wants you to jam sometimes.
It
So it
does.
takes it. It does take it.
That
I
9
mean,
of
this
spades.
is this weird hand class where when they bet big, we can't win, but it likes to do crazy shit with our blocker sometimes.
The 8 of spades doesn't matter.
Yeah, the 9.
It's pretty out there for a bluff, and you know, but it's, I mean, it is something to think about, right? I mean, so, and this is something Hungry Horse talks about on occasion. So if you have a marginal hand like we do here, that
And he folds.
sometimes wins at check, check.
Oh,
Yeah. In
then
theory,
that's
he's
not
folding
happening.
a set of kings, which I doubt happens.
Yeah, true. So we have a marginal hand that can win check, check some of the times, and then he bets.
But then if they're
Our
not folding
flush
kings, we
blocker
get
on this
super
configuration
value.
does allow us to check shove. Or check raise. Bluff sometimes.
Those threes.
It's advanced class, right? And you have to probably use it against the right. You have to understand your opponent's probably, this is probably a better play. Against, the better the opponent, the better this play. Because the more they're gonna overfold. Someone who just thinks about absolute hand strength is not gonna find a fold with like such kings or even sometimes. An ace, but it's a good, it's a clever play. It's I don't, I think it's probably YMMV, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Continuing on with the review, we have ace 9. We open, we get a flat from the button and multi-way. Two fairly fishy players.
Okay, arguably a miserable spot against two fish.
Okay.
I
This
would,
is,
go ahead.
yeah. I think if we have this hand, this is a good hand to c bet.
Oh,
We block the 9-8 of spades and hearts. Or I mean, no, we don't block anything. They can have all of the other 8-9s, right? They can have 8-9 of hearts, 8-9 of spades.
Mm-hmm.
And also they
Which,
can have 9-8 off if they're this, I mean, how many hands do you have on these guys?
like an
Enough to know
okay.
that they probably have the offsuit.
And ace
9-8.
suited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I think I would do a lot of checking here. But. I can understand where you're getting to a bet. You have a king high board. In theory, we know we bet king high boards a lot. We're blocking their continues with the ace of clubs. But, yeah.
I think
I can
theory
understand your
would bet bigger though.
No, I think
No, I don't think so. I think in theory it's mostly small.
Okay. Yeah, you're
so
not.
multi-way, what happens is that we end up betting smaller. The theory behind it, and this doesn't really apply to the real world, is that their burden of defense is lower because it's multi-way, so they need to fold more, so we can use a smaller side. All right,
Oh,
so
yeah, I'm good.
that's the theory. So yeah, I think I would check and
I knew Mike had some ill intentions.
I didn't, I'd forgotten about this. Yeah. I clicked the button thinking I was just folding. And then I saw that. We've seen my spew filter come out. Is this spew?
This is interesting.
Bluff it's never
I
speed.
think
I
not
love the
against,
It's far.
not against this player class, but I think it's one and done.
I love the check raise so much, but like I don't think I'm ever finding this one.
Yeah. I don't even know if this is like, do we like the check raise with these particular suits that we're holding, or is it better to have cl- the heart spade combo?
I think you want to block their continues, and you're blocking their continues now, right? You're blocking their not flush draw, and you're blocking the back door. I think you want to block their continues in theory.
Okay, so this is a good combo to do it with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It worked.
All right, let's see
Not
what
spew if
got
it
away with.
works. Oh
Damn,
my.
it
Wow.
really worked.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. Let's take a look, see what Prometheus has to say about pre. You want to?
Sure.
Let's check it out. See if we can get a configuration that allows for cache. Let's do that. Um, hmm. Oh, pick here. Let's see. I don't think we can do well, cut off button big blind because that's kind of where it. Well, maybe we can. Yeah, we can. All right, good. Let's do it. And then we were
Oh.
king of clubs, eight of diamonds. Oops, wrong card. All right, so big blind checks, and then it is on us. Oh, yeah, a lot of c betting. A lot of
Yeah.
c betting. It's small, but it's not devoid of the larger size bet, Brian. There is some B66s going on in there.
I was thinking about that wrong too, though. It's definitely mostly small, though. Makes sense. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
and we've seen that a lot. Like, we spent like a whole month doing like multi-way and the theory stuff that we're looking at with this solver. And it was
Do you guys?
rarely a big bet. It was rarely a big bet.
I do have a question about that. So do you guys, so like I mean, I really try to follow John Little's approach 90% of the time unless I'm playing live and these people are being insane. But so you generally found that that rule is completely like is pretty sound because his approach is that, they're gonna call you that you don't technically have the nut advantage here. They're gonna have a lot more eights in their range, so you're just gonna want to bet small and continue on those king high boards like this.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair to say because I mean I think we still have a range advantage, but not
Yeah.
necessarily a nut advantage. That
Yeah, that because they should have more eights than you should.
yeah.
And I mean, you can still. That's what I
We-
struggle with the nut advantage because I mean, you can have you. They just have more of it within their range. Is what whenever I've started to look into it more is obviously it's just that who has more of it in the range. Even though you can still have eights and you can still have quads and shit like that and kings, but they're gonna have more eights from than your raising range will have. And that's how it works, right?
I think so.
Okay.
Larry, you're pretty good at range versus range. So we're cut off and we get called by the button and the big blind. We know that in theory, the button is not going to have like a bunch of calls. So they're a pretty tight condensed range in theory.
Mm-hmm.
His call in particular, I think is fine. Like it's going to show up in the charts because he had King Jack suited. And then the big blind can now obviously have more eights. Now we have all the overpairs. We have aces, kings, they probably don't have aces, kings, queens. They can they can have jacks at this point in theory, and then tens and nines. We have the better kings. We have ace king. They typically aren't going to have ace king. So we have all 16 combos of ace king. They're going to have none.
They
And
shouldn't have much king queen either.
right, they shouldn't, probably shouldn't. Well,
I think on the button you 3-bet that generally, but I mean,
Yeah,
Well,
I'll
let's
pull
see
it
what
up.
his range is. I mean, let's look at it.
offsuit for sure. Offsuit, you should
Yeah.
be.
So let's take a small bet here. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, if you wanted to see, so here's the button, and it's gonna 3-bet king, queen off, king, jack.
Yeah, it's a very, very tiny
Oh, it
range.
calls.
It's
Oh yeah,
2% of
no.
range. In theory here that they have. They even have ace queen, which is a classic flatting hand. Ace queen suited, which is the classic flatting hand. Yeah, this is I mean, I don't think this range has anything to do with reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I put more 8s in their range then too, because I think there's a lot more just suited random hands that contain an 8 that people are going to play from the button or big blind.
I'm
Yeah.
curious here. Can you show us what flatting range they give the button here?
Yeah.
So if we bet small, let's say, or whatever you want to do, doesn't matter.
Yeah, so let's do that. Let's bet small because that's what we do. And then the button. So here's what the button got here with. All of this blue he's folding now, but he's gotten here with all these hands.
So let's compare and contrast this range to what
Oh, your
GTO
cutoff. You should have a lot of 10-8, 9-8, 8-8, king 8, and 8, ace 8.
he doesn't even have any pure flats here, except for like queen jack. He probably has, he has more than 2% of hands here. He's got probably 10%, 11%.
Yeah, it's not obviously it's not show. So when he flats, this is what he gets here with, right?
Yeah, so this is a lot more. There's a lot more combos than what GTO Wizard gives. This is closer to realistic. But I would say even more tight than what reality is.
Because reality players will have some of this, more of this. They'll have
Yeah,
more
they'll have a
of
lot
this.
more of that.
They're going to have queen 8, jack 8, I'm going to bet. Suited.
No.
They'll have all of this. Like they rarely fold it. So you're seeing that this range only includes a small percentage of these hands. They have more of that.
And 8-6, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just going to be a lot closer to the big blind calling range, which is like much, much wider, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Which
big
is
blind calls with 8-5 suited. Jack 8, queen 8, king 8.
this range says they're 3-betting this pure. All of this has been 3-bet pre-flop,
Yeah.
which doesn't happen in reality.
No.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so our combo there was a good combo to do it with. It was good. Like the ace of clubs is what really, really drove the C bet.
Yeah, it's clubs. I mean, I would only bluff river. What was your plan on river? Because I'm
Oh,
curious, because I'm
if
not finding this and I like your play.
oh, you're talking about the check raise now?
Yeah, so
Yeah. Oops, let's go here.
well, what was your plan though?
Oh wait, I was at 2.5, so we can go 2.5.
Yeah, I don't even know if this has much. I don't know if the solve helps us here
No,
because
you're right. It's probably not going to be anything
he's
relevant.
got 2% of hands and this guy has 30% or 40% of hands.
Yeah, it's probably not real relevant, right?
Yeah, but we can, I mean, look at it. So we're bet a lot. So this is cutoff versus button, right?
This is cutoff versus button.
So this is the first thing. So we know, so in theory, we're checking 70% of hands here. We know that this is a unique flop and that we're betting a shit ton. So this king two-tone repeat low card hand. We are really, we are really attacking this flop. So that's the
Mhm.
first
I'm,
thing.
I'm surprised how many overbets it finds.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were.
this is a very unusual, solve for this configuration, but this must be just, I mean, we must not have, well, I think the thing is, we have all the kings. He three bets off a lot of his kings, in theory, and he doesn't have very many eights. I mean, he's got 2% of range. I mean, the big thing is that he's got 2% of range here. His defense is a lot of ace. He only has 9-8 suited, or he only has 9-8 suited, 8-7 suited, eights. I guess ace-8. So, and he doesn't have them at full frequency, so he's got sliver. So we got a massive range advantage.
And a massive nut advantage.
And when you look at nut advantage, we're off the charts here.
And that's now throw in if you had a big blind. So now, so those are those two ranges. Let's do, this is going to be totally different. Now, if
So I
it's a
will say
big
that
blind,
your instinct that you bet here is right. I think you understood that this is the right texture to bet on. So now you can compare it against big blind.
uh-huh.
That's interesting. See what happens.
Yeah, no overbets anymore.
Yeah, he's got a lot more eights he's
Makes sense.
defending.
Yeah, so now it's just a straight range advantage, but the nut advantage isn't really there anymore. Right?
Yeah.
Is that,
I think.
yeah, because here's the best hands. Well, no, we have a pretty good nut advantage.
Yeah. Huh.
Okay.
The monster.
So would you rather see, yeah, we should look at the check raise versus this guy versus, because we can't really check raise the big blind.
So raise, button call. You're gonna bet. Do you use a bet small sometimes?
Yeah,
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 okay.
and they're fairly
Okay.
prominent.
Okay, yeah. Primary side.
And then they should be defending with their kings all the time. And it was the 6 of diamonds, 2 flush board, cut off. So we just continue with the ace of clubs on occasion. If we do, that's the one combo that we want to bet now. Ace of clubs, 9 of diamonds, checks. And we do check. And then they fired off a B50. Let's see, do they do it? They don't have too many B50s. They got more B125s and B small bets. Should we give them a small bet, Larry, or
Uh,
give them a
let's give him a small
B50?
bet. I think you're gonna have a more realistic solve.
So my,
And do we
my
use
action
the,
was spewy, but what do we check raise with?
oh, more interesting, what do we check raise bluff? So if you go to like filter for,
Sixes.
yeah, these two, and then you hit raise. So you filter for those two, and then you hit raise 12.5 and raise 2.8. I raise 21 and raise, yeah, there you go. And there they are. So looks like is it the ace of clubs, the ace queen? Everything's doing it, but it likes the ace of clubs a lot. Ace jack, it likes the ace jack. Doesn't care about clubs. And
Okay.
then the gutter around the 9-10. Notice it's not doing it as much with the combo draw. I think I might find this with the combo draw, the gutter and the flush. That seems like a natural one, right?
Yeah, does.
But Queen Jack, another.
So it does like to check raise more with the like that combo, the spade heart combo, not so much clubs and diamonds.
Yeah,
Except in this case,
tough one.
okay. All right. Little spew that works.
Overworks evidently.
And that kind of opponent, yeah, who knows? I guess. And now we get a bunch of limps with ace 10 in the big blind. We have full stacks,
This is a tough spot always, I think.
tight passives. Ace 10 is going to be bottom of if I do ISO, which I probably do. I'm thinking I do. Yep, I do. And we get a call from the button.
So the initial, okay. We don't flop that one.
Ooh.
Man, he's really capped. He was a lot like set mining.
Yeah. And we're out of position. We don't have anything to do with this other than a backdoor straight. Should we see bet?
I would
Should
see
we?
that here. Because I think he's doubly capped and I think he's got a lot of twos through sixes. Twos obviously hit, but he's got a lot more that doesn't.
And if you see bet, what size are you using?
I would use a half size. I would use a half button, half
Like
five.
like B50?
Yeah.
Trying to think if I had the ace of clubs here, I know I would see bet. So if I did, the sizing I would use on this flop, I think I would use kind of a bigger size. Yeah, I'd probably go B75-ish. B50 minimum. I check and they check behind. Now we turn a gutter. An overcard gets there that's better than a lot of the pairs that they could have called with. So we could start putting pressure on their nines, tens, eights.
You've got a gutter and you can bluff and got a bluffing man.
Yeah, the
Uh,
nut flush blocker bluffer.
yeah, even though. I mean, it's very hard to understand what's happening because you don't know his range. But I generally would bet after it goes check, check. I think just generally betting after. I mean, I think his range is pretty transparent. I would bet here and, okay. So we're gonna, ace high's got some showdown. I think you have to call wide here.
All right, we didn't have to. What do you think he has?
I think he has 3 through 5s. Fours.
You
Fours,
nailed it,
wow.
Larry. Hey, Larry Negreanu.
I mean, it does make sense, right?
Yeah,
I mean, this is the kind of hand that's gonna play this way.
we win this when we bet.
Yeah,
It almost probably any street. Might take two streets, might take flop turn.
I would start betting turn. This is
Okay, so
another
we got
interesting spot.
limped here with threes. And I mean, kind of just a standard looking bad, tight, passive numbers, only 20 hands, so nothing crazy in the number of hands.
Threes are a very difficult hand to turn into bluff here. Not trying to, they're very hard, difficult hand to play post.
Yeah, do you
I
think
don't,
I feel like it's easier to play once if we just raise now, as opposed to just checking.
yeah, I think it's easier to play as a semi bluff. No, this is interesting. So. So do we go back? I mean, we go back to the old school 13 times rule, right? 13 times, like, can you win 13 times the stack? And
The answer is no.
no, you can win 6.5 times the stack, so then this becomes a fold.
Fold.
This size is so big. It's just like, you don't have the
Ye-
implied odds.
Can we adjust that formula because it's blind versus blind?
I don't know.
As I think I called. And he checks.
Um,
This is
so,
this is reminding me of Brian's hand against the mentally disabled guy.
so what is his likely range here? I mean, I have a combo in mind.
Yeah, a lot of over cards like ace king,
Yeah, I
ace
mean,
queen.
ace, king, ace, queen.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of unpaired overcards.
So I think I would check back in. With marginal
Yeah.
showdown.
Now you got a gutter check
And you
and
got a gutter.
raise. Here comes a raise from me.
Um, yeah, I think you have a really good bluff catcher still. And you've got four additional outs. You've got 6 outs, got 12%. I think I would prefer call, but I can understand why you want to win.
If he didn't go like if he went, I didn't look at the sizing. If the sizing was smaller, I'm raising the hell out of that. But that sizing, I think call is right too.
Yeah, so Brian, I guess Brian, the argument for calling here is that you have a hand that's gonna win sometimes against his ace, king and ace, queen. Which he has a lot more of now that it went check, check on flop. Some people are gonna have overpairs here, but you're not gonna get overpairs very often. I mean, you are gonna fold ace, king and ace, queen out. But you were ahead of those hands anyway. You do get some equity denial against the ace, king, queen coming on the river.
I think I might play some of these positions a little too aggressively and be folding out hands I'm beating. So like I'm think you're making a fair point that that a call is valid. I just like it on a smaller size too.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I
don't know.
mean,
I hate
against this,
getting in when an ace or king comes off and he bets the river. It's like such an annoying call that you have to make.
it is annoying when this king comes on the other hand. Yeah, and that's a good river, and does he find it? So
Oh, God.
this looks like this is a pretty tough spot. So what does he have here that plays like this, right? So he does have bluffs. His bluffs are on ace, ace, king, ace, queen.
I think even some eights maybe.
He does have some thick value that might play this way, like nines. Um, and we can go back to Peter Clark here and say Peter Clark does call down wide in this configuration. Got a pretty good bluff catcher against this run out when it goes check on flop.
Hmm.
He's gonna have
I
some
mean,
check traps on flop too.
but also how often does he flop a set or an overpair that he checks and then decides to bet a pretty large size on the turn after I've shown no interest in this pot? Like
It's gonna be nines more than it is ace, king or ace, queen.
if,
But I mean, nines are gonna do it because they don't feel like they need any protection. Um,
but I don't think they'd choose a big size on the turn. Was my point of like what
yeah,
because
maybe.
I don't think they're choosing that big of a size on the turn when they have top set. They're
Yeah.
probably at least the bad players are gonna be like so worried about getting called. At least
Well,
like
this,
Hungry Horse styles, like if they're I mean actually he does make argument for both, that they go big because they get too greedy. But I
yeah,
don't know.
I think you've got a pretty good bluff catcher, but and I think it's the configuration. There's a lot of configurations where I'm not calling this, but I think if there's any configuration where I'm calling this,
Mhm.
it's here. I mean, this is like nuts or nothing. It's like nines are aces.
Yeah,
Or it's air.
I'm with you.
I'm leaning towards air. Oh,
Yeah, I think a fold is fine.
but do you have what the hell?
It's a pretty weird hand.
I mean, yeah, again, is he bluffing? He's got to be, right? Or
He's bluffing.
do you
Yeah,
think I'm gonna call him with ace king?
this is bluffing.
Or I'm gonna fold pocket tens? I'm gonna fold queen nine suited?
So weird.
It's a very strange hand. Wild West, blind versus blind.
Hmm.
Hey, all right, we got a super tight 27 hands, so can read into it all you want there. Probably nothing to read into too much, but only four hands, or only 4%, 27 hands. This is a pure three bet to a button open. Normally, does this change your mind?
A little bit. Sometimes I break the rules and call here against this type of player.
The only time I'm calling here is if I think this player is fishy, and I want to just have him come in.
Well, that player is fishy.
This player so far looks fairly fishy.
And you've got significant implied odds against him. I mean, you can play bingo here. Um, yeah, I think this is fine. This is the approved play. Um, huh. What are you guys doing here?
I know what I'm doing with this hand.
I'm checking and then probably. I mean, it's not good enough to call, so if he raises, I'm probably gonna raise.
Hmm. You guys check folding Dean and checking Brian. Larry, you didn't kind of say what you were doing.
This is a really tough spot, but I think so. I get a little monster on the bed here because I think
Ooh,
there's a lot of queen X in the defending range. But okay, yeah, I think betting is standard here. You got some backdoor stuff going on.
And this is a size up for me. Like, I mean, I think this flop dictates a bigger C bet. If we C bet, like we use a bigger size and not just range bet a third.
Yeah, we mix it, especially when you're trying to produce a fold.
oh, I didn't realize it was three bet.
Nice.
I'd like to confirm that my suspicion here because that's something that but I thought for sure this 10 jack with the 10 with a diamond on the flop there was a pretty good hand to C bet with. We get a okay, small blind. Yeah. And then we get a call.
Oh, you have no.
Oh, we
Was he-
raised. I thought you just called. That's why I said check fold.
Oh,
Um,
that's what I said.
I thought you were donkey. I was like, oh shit, he donked.
Queen of clubs, seven of spades, three of diamonds, queen of clubs, seven of spades. Three of
So
diamonds.
before you show the flop, you think this is a high frequency bet? Yeah, it is.
I tried to hide it in time, but yeah.
You know, so the numbers.
No, I didn't think it was a high frequency bet, to be honest. I thought it was going to be a higher sizing, like a bigger sizing.
It's more polar. Well, it is pretty polar. It's using B50, right? You thought it was gonna be like a B75 over bet?
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure. I didn't think it was going to like this B33s all that much.
Okay.
I thought it would prefer these up here.
Not a range bet, but our entire range bets.
So can we look at range versus range real quick here. Yeah, you still got a lead, but and he doesn't. I mean, in theory, he doesn't defend as many queens as I think he does. I don't. We should be shying away from betting on this. I need to unlearn that. Yeah, good bet.
Should he fold on the, should he fold on the flop? To our bet?
That's a good question. I think he probably does.
Nope.
Nope. Just because our whole ranges has bets. Gotta protect.
What about if it's an ace high flop? Can you show us real quick if he folds an ace high flop?
Yeah. And you want to make it queen, the ace, the queen and ace?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yep, still defense. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Notice how much he's folding for his pre though.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of why I wonder if c betting is better because you're putting pressure on all these, like the flop is queen high with jacks, tens, nines, eights, sixes, fives, fours, deuces, that they
They've
have
got
a
that. I mean,
much
I
bigger
overcall
frequency.
them relative to solver. I'm sure everybody else does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's I think your C-bet's really good actually, because they definitely overcall. They're not just like mixing like the solver does, so they're probably more frequency fours, you know, all that stuff.
Here's what they are in theory defending the 3-bet with. And like we're saying, we think that they never fold any of this.
Yeah, he didn't just
Probably.
call you on the sliver. He didn't roll for that call.
Right. Yeah. They probably call more of this.
Mm-hmm. Not folding the suited aces.
They don't
And jamming is crazy.
they don't 4-bet this or
No.
even this probably. Like most, like the typical opponent doesn't 4-bet enough and they probably don't 4-bet these.
Mm-hmm.
Can we play jacks correctly? It's tulips.
6 or 7.
This is cuspy, right? That's a joke.
Yeah, I like
I
6.
was like, what?
We get a call from the shorty and going heads up against the shorty.
So SPR of
2.
E
2.
bet, range bet.
The question I would have, this is
Well,
an interesting hand because like, do we want to just put it in now or do we want to extract value? I'm not sure with this hand.
I
On
think
this
you bet.
configuration.
small, let him call with the backdoor flush and ace high.
Yeah, maybe it's, I mean, this is a 1 street game or 2 street game. We can agree on that, right?
Yep.
So
Hmm.
then I don't know which is better.
I feel like it's getting, there's no need to jam because if he has a king, it's getting in either way, obviously. And if he doesn't, you bet smaller and give him a chance to try and catch up with some sort of garbage.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think you bet. I don't know what I do. But if I'm sitting here right now, I would bet this. I would see bet now, small. I would never go big. I would go small only. Let them call with all of the whatever little pairs they might have that are worse than jacks. And like you said, some other trashy stuff that's like backdoor-ish.
Like our king X
Um,
doesn't need protection to, doesn't need to jam for protection or anything.
so I did bet.
Exactly.
And it's
Gonna
sick
bet.
if they fold.
Yeah, you're only, if you jam, you're only folding out hands worse than yours.
Yeah. I would put it in here.
Oh,
But,
and if you bet half pot there, you get
well, I like your, this is an interesting choice. I don't think it's wrong. I'm curious why you choose a check.
At the time, I don't remember. I think I'm checking here. I'm kind of hoping he bets, or if he, yeah, I'm kind of hoping he bets. Not that I think he's always bluffing, but that he thinks now I'm done with the hand or something, you know?
Yeah, it's a static
Yeah,
texture, right? I mean, there's not many draws available.
especially a guy with the VPIP 51 who's limped 11 times or 20, 11 times.
Hmm.
He probably is that type to try to win pots, let's say.
and he can have a ton of draws though there with his since he limps so often, like
Yeah,
7-8, 5-3, 5 deuce, all that garbage that he'd fold if you jam.
yeah,
That sucks.
That's
yeah.
a terrible
Because
card.
any check back. So that
Well,
does
but I like
suck.
a block here.
I was thinking that, Larry. I don't know what I
Mhm.
do, but I was thinking a block could be valuable,
I like block for 7.
and then just
Like,
I think block 10 would be smaller, but
I was thinking
I'd
5, but
use 7 here.
if you block, you just price yourself in, which
Or you can overfold.
yeah,
yeah,
I
the
would
5
block
big
and then
blind, then
fold to
he
any raise.
jams 25, you can fold.
I'm so damn sticky. I would have called. I blocked and
Exactly.
they raised.
It's gonna show 7s.
Yeah,
Ah,
check back
Ah,
to ace.
ew.
did not go for the thin value, which is understandable. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, we like this hand.
Would have
No,
won
all
if we
right.
bet the turn.
I don't think you should raise here.
What if he bet turn, Dane, as you said?
No, I said we would have won if we bet the turn.
Yeah. Yep. We let him get there.
Kind of surprising he didn't try to bluff it or anything a little bit. The ace 2 on the turn.
I mean, without the ace coming though, that's a great check because
Mm-hmm.
you now give him a shot on the river to bet into you and get some extra value out of him that you're probably not going to get if you do bet the turn.
All right. He started started with 85.
So that,
So,
yeah, do you ever give a volume, premium discount with aces? Or do you use a default 3-bet side?
well, there's a volume 3-bet discount right there because normally that's 12.
11.99.
I'm serious. Like I think I may have sized down because I had aces. Um, should we go even smaller? Should we go to 10?
I think 11's fine. I would do 11.
I mean, at the same time, why, should I just keep it at 12?
Good size. This is a really good flop. So here, can we say we've got to play for stacks hand?
Yes, at this point.
I think it's thick value.
And our SPR is 3, right?
3, just over 3.
Mm-hmm.
Three
And
and a half.
we want it over 3 streets. I think I go half pot, half pot, half pot here.
Well, if you go hungry horse, doesn't he check full frequency with thick value? Oh no, it's not a static
He
board,
checks a
so
lot in a 3-bet pot here. But I
but
don't
not
know if it
on these
checks.
boards.
I don't know if it checks with premium hands. This is a premium hand.
I like to check more just because you need less protection with this specific hand than if like queens or jacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's true.
But I mean, well,
It's
this is
very
a
good
board.
texture for aces unless you run into 9s. But I would go half pot, half pot, half pot here.
Okay, I do go half pot. And I think so somebody who buys in for this was their first hand at the table, I'm assuming, because they don't have any stats on them. Did he post? Did he post? No, he
No,
didn't
he
post.
opened.
So I
And
don't
raise.
know why I wouldn't have at least one hand. And
Yeah.
so he goes 3x, and we can figure his range is going to be more uh, value heavy when he calls the three bet, when he goes 3x from low jack and then calls a three bet. Like there's tens, jacks, queens, kings, maybe not kings, but you have those hands that will call bigger size bets.
Maybe when you got to the table, he's sitting out. 'Cause
Oh,
you,
yeah,
I mean, if we didn't get, you just got here probably. You VPIP 13.
yeah, that could be. And then he calls the C bet.
I'd go half again.
And I check. And he checked behind, unfortunately.
So
I'm
let's
sure I
talk
was
about
talking.
your choice to check on turn.
Yeah, I was gonna check raise.
Okay. Yeah,
Why do you want to check raise?
I think the way to look at this hand is, so he's defending in ETG. He's got a lot of, he's got some eights, which we have to be aware of. He has tens and jacks and queens here. And I think we focus on stacking tens and jacks and queens. And I would go half pot,
Yep.
hope for a clean river and half pot again.
Those eights too. Shit. With the gut that's open ended.
Yeah. Yeah. So now I think you just shove. That's not the rest, that's not the two that we wanted. Okay. And problem here is that you're gonna probably have to call for shove.
Do what?
It'd be very hard to fold to a shove.
Yes, it would. I don't think that I would. Should you?
So does he hero with tens? Wow,
Ooh,
green river. Okay, so his half pot call on flop was very speculative, I think. I
Mm-hmm.
think he folds this.
In theory, right? In theory, he should fold his over, probably not the ace high backdoor, but king high backdoor.
Yeah, he's thinking he has two backdoors here, right? We see backdoor straight, backdoor flush, two overs, but I think against your sizing, this is a fold. And then he's got an easy continue on turn.
so
And
why were
then,
you looking for the check raise? Because when like watch Hungry Horse, a lot of the time, like you don't want to generate that many folds, and they're gonna generate too many folds here when you have a hand that has so much value.
The pot, I think the stack size is what I was probably thinking about, because if he bets, I can jam and there's just not going to be anything left for him to fold. I guess maybe, and I guess maybe you're saying like I want him to bet here is what I'm hoping. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
when I
And
take my
often he calls
line,
9-10,
yeah,
you know, he's
But
gonna
when
bet
you
on the turn when you check.
so it's not the greatest turn, but the way I would think about this is that,
like I agree with Larry about half pot because I think you can still get it in,
yeah,
and you're still gonna get him to call, especially knowing his hand now.
I think with this hand and this texture on flop, we think SPR geometric, and that's half pot, half pot, half pot, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, like obviously this is after the hand, so you can say everyone's a genius whenever,
Yeah,
look
that's
back at it.
true.
But I just, and we know what he has, but you're getting more value obviously because what I mean if he called the flop, how the hell is he gonna fold the turn
Yeah, this is a
whenever
very interesting hand for
like
solver.
he how the hell is he turning the folding on the turn when he just picks up more outs?
Yeah, Larry, I think your line is way better versus population.
And
I
you,
probably was trying to, maybe fancy play syndrome or something. 'Cause
He
yeah, I got,
probably has the
I would
two kings
imagine
jacks on the
we
turn
get to,
that
yeah, I think we're
are
gonna,
trash that he
you're
bets.
building you're building a single raise pot now.
But you're
uh,
also it's also valid if he has something like if he had something like what he has, but different suit and catches the jack now, you're not gonna you wouldn't have gotten as
This
much
is not
value.
a three bet pot.
It
oh,
is.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So he's calling range. What do you had king jack suited?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
Mhm.
did.
so
What was it? 9. I figured aces would probably check here a lot.
yeah,
But
They do.
again, Larry, I was kind of in your camp of just going for value versus the population tendencies of people. So I didn't want to just check here. I would check against somebody that was I considered aggressive or was really good. I would check more often.
yeah, I think this, so we miss here obviously a lot, so
He's just call a little bit.
he
He
is
does.
supposed to call, he's supposed to mix. This seems a little screwy to me.
Not the king queen though.
Was it the 6 of diamonds?
And then now we're thinking geometric almost all the
Yep.
time.
King's check.
Check if we had the ace of diamonds.
Wow, that's weird. Why did kings check?
And ace of clubs.
Well, we can look at their equity. So the equity's gonna probably be pretty similar with these cards. 78, 79. I don't know. Good question.
That is wild.
Might have to do with what he defend. It probably has to do with, so it's always range versus range interaction, right? So does he defend king nine suited here? Maybe it, I don't know.
You mean like on the flop?
Taking our check
Yeah,
range.
I don't know if he, yeah, he
No.
doesn't have it. So,
So we check
he's supposed to
his
turn this into a bluff.
yeah, his specific combo
Actually,
doesn't.
no, he's not, is he?
Yeah, his diamonds no.
Because a check raise here is horrible for him.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably have a lot of ace X flush draws that check raise, and why does he want to throw a pot against that?
It's the jack of something.
Back of blanks.
Yeah, so you gotta go for value here. What you do,
They're not going to fold their king jack.
No.
Indifferent. And even gets to jam.
interesting hand. Yeah, I think we just barrel. I mean, it's it's not complex poker. But I think on this particular texture, we like that line.
Yep. Yes, sir. I'm with you. I think exploitatively it's better. Even maybe even in theory, of course, we saw we could just go bet, 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 right?
Yeah. Alright, I think this is profitable set my hand. I don't think you're gonna get squeezed enough behind.
Yeah, and I guarantee you I would have looked. I would have saw these players, I would have looked at these numbers and figured, nothing, not terrible. Like there's nobody that's no 3-bet monkeys back here. And it's gonna be tough to get squeezed once you get this many. Like I don't think I would flat here if this guy didn't overcall. I think I would fold. Four ways.
It's an alright flop.
This is why we play the game. So this is gonna get interesting. Four ways, wet dynamic flop. I think I would fast play this on this flop texture. And
I know what I do.
multi-way. I would get very polar here and go 20.
Anybody else? Anybody else? see
Yeah, what
any-
else? What do you guys think? This is a very interesting spot.
I think I agree with Larry. Trying to think of what the value would be in so playing this, but well, yeah, I think you just raised the 20, like Larry's saying.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to think we're gonna get check raised enough. Like if we just call here,
Yeah, this is locked up. Yeah, I like a fast play on this texture.
I mean, yeah, sports wet as hell.
Alright, that's a dream come true. What is his range now? His range is a lot of, so what size did he use again? He used a big size for multi-way, right? No,
like
yeah,
350-ish.
yeah, so. I think we're looking at a lot of flush draws, maybe some, wheel gutters. If he has ace three, so be it, and a lot of overcards. So this is clearly a play for stacks hand, so. Now we go and we've got an SPR of less than one, so if you put in. 20. This is an interesting spot. I think. I mean, we're never folding. We really don't want a diamond. But it doesn't matter. 30. I like. I like between 20 and 30, 20, 40, 90. I think I like 20 more than I like 40. I almost would do a repeat 20.
For 20 and
20 between 20 and 30.
dude,
I think
90
it's what I would
reaps. I like a bigger bet. Because of his flush draws.
You know, why do you, I don't mind a jam. Why would you?
Not
Why
a
would you
jam,
jam
but
here?
not a jam, a bit just a larger sizing, because when his flush draws miss, you're not getting any value on the river.
Yeah, Dean, is that why
So-
you're gonna use a shove here? Because he's gonna call off sometimes with his draws.
Yeah.
His
It's
draws and
like
his
already,
overpairs.
if we're gonna bet, if we're already gonna bet like pot, might as well just.
Yeah, I
Spot
think
back there.
I always forget about. So let me see,
That's
so if you're
true.
using 20, you're almost giving him a price to call with his draws. Maybe 20 is too small. I think. Maybe 30. Yeah, I can
Like
understand why you wanna
overpairs,
jam.
his overpairs don't wanna fold.
I like 45 to all in, now that Dean mentions it.
Now you don't have to go too big to make drawing incorrect. Like
Yeah, so you don't, so what, so you could say he's got 18%. You go half, which is 25, you're offering him 25%. So I would go to 30.
And if he's a good player, he
I would
shouldn't
go to
call.
30 here.
I think I went small-ish.
Yeah, so you're not giving him a
raise.
price, but. He should call with his
Little
draws.
check raise bait.
That and yes, I'm risking him calling with his draws and getting there. And am I getting hands that are just kind of drawing super thin to call?
Yeah.
I guess like if for the diamond draws, if a 5 or 7 diamond hits, it's like super good for you too. So it's not.
Alright,
bad
guys,
playing
he
with his
folded.
draws.
I'm guessing he has two overcards here. I'm gonna guess ace, king, ace, queen, 9-3. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Well, I don't think we're getting a call
Yes,
from
yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
Let's see what these other two had. Ace six, pocket eights.
eights.
Ooh,
So he calls with his open ender, and then what are you giving him? So
That's
the price you're
hilarious.
giving a bad price here. Are you? Yeah,
Yeah, it
well,
was 2% versus my specific hand.
and then you're giving him, he's got 18%, yeah. And you're offering him, right, so he should call here. With implied odds. We can
And
all see,
assuming he should call, assuming I pay him off if he hits.
yeah. I think he thought
which
his
honestly, you're more likely to pay him off on that draw than a diamond. I mean, I am more likely to.
9-3, that's insane.
Yeah, so for example, if the flop comes 6 of diamonds and he jams
The river.
the river, like he would have to open jam. He would jam into me.
You can get away from it.
I would very, very much consider folding pocket fours here.
But if it comes out six of or like ace of clubs, I mean, I'd see myself calling that off a lot more often.
Oh yeah, ace if
The
an ace
ace,
hits,
yeah.
absolutely.
But like any diamond, like I was just saying his specific draw is more likely to get paid than a flush draw.
Right. Because if it was the 6 of spades, 6 of spades,
It's hard, but I'm probably gonna call down and be pissed at myself. But
it's a four-liner, any 8, any 3, pocket 7s, pocket 6s, pocket 5s. Yeah, I don't know if fours would be how fours would do. I don't know. That would be harder. I would probably have to tank and just, figure I can't fold a set and call.
yeah,
And that I think this illustrates if you're in this situation where you have a draw to the shit end,
yeah, that's also true.
you just you just don't.
It's not worth fighting for that.
Good point, good
I
point.
think it also helps show that we shouldn't worry so much about monsters under the bed when they got so much fucking trash under the bed.
Yes, and that's a common theme we talk about on this call, and I hear it in other like streams of coaches where sure we're trying to figure out their range, right? But what we don't often do is include just the random weird shit that they show up with.
Yeah,
So like 9-3, nobody here would have said, oh,
Yeah.
he can have 3x, but would it ever be 9-3? No, it would be ace 3, it would be maybe king 3 suited at the worst,
4-3 suited, maybe.
4-3 at the next
Which
step
we
down.
block.
I could see 4-3 suited, but well, no, he opened from. I mean, then again, it's still like I mean, this is online, so I think they're even better in person. I'm like, dude, holy shit, these people are just opening absolute garbage.
Yeah, he called an early position 3x raise with 9-3 suited.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I just play super aggressive when I've been going to the room.
And then you get this.
yeah, it's ridiculous. Alright. We like eights.
Okay, we got a flat on the button. Small blind and big blind. Okay.
One time, 13%.
13%.
Nope.
No good.
Oh, this is always interesting.
Jesus.
Well,
Um,
with your study, you should rate. Or no,
this is a tough spot against four ranges. I just called against four ranges,
Yeah, and you look at
three
this
ranges.
here.
You got somebody behind. I hate it, but I'd call. I'd have to call the one big.
Yeah,
What if we didn't have the 8 of spades? What if it was 8-8 with no spade?
I'm still calling.
I would
Yeah.
call, I mean, essentially it's a check. So I think you treat it as though we check two.
I went with super mergy.
This is very interesting. Let's see how it works out for you.
I'm not mad at it because it's like you clean up some of your equity. Maybe they're just floating with some garbage bottom pairs or under pairs, thinking they might be able to get some folds for cheap. So it's not. I don't hate it, but I don't know. That's a tough one.
Thank you, Brendan. That's exactly what I was, or the purpose of that raise is against four other players. I want people to fold Jack 10. I want people to fold King 4. You know, it's like I'm cleaning up some of this equity. Should we reveal and see what we cleaned up? We'll do that later.
Yeah,
But
just
that was the purpose for
Well,
sure.
when
yeah.
you, oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say it's like playing, especially at like low stakes where I play, they're doing this with any just random hand. So it's like the problem is even going low, you have too many people overcalling for small sizes. Like you did a 3x to the one big blind bet, but a lot of people will look at it like, oh, well, that's just, 15 cents if you're playing like, 5 NL or something like that, or oh, that's just 25 cents. And they'll just toss it in there. But you don't want to go super big because then it's like you're just getting called down by the nuts. But it's like I don't know. That's a really tough situation.
I have a question about this too, Mike. You were saying that the Nuffle strategy that you tend to not raise the leads whenever the sample that you guys looked at is generally marginal hands and bad hands.
Correct.
So,
Yeah, the Nuffle kind of applies more towards heads up pots.
okay.
So here, of course, we're not heads up. We are multi-way, four ways, and we got this. We got this.
Yeah.
So, which I don't like. I'm okay. Like if I raise here, like I did, and then this guy goes all in, I'm cool with getting it in versus whatever he has with
Mhm.
his stack. If
Which
this guy
sucks
came over the
though.
top, I would fold. Like if I go here and then if either of these two re-raise, I'm folding, depending on the size. If it's small, maybe I can call. But if this guy, villain 23, decides to do something, I think I will probably continue. But I don't know. Yeah, that's why I bring
What
it.
if villain 2 called there and then villain 23 jammed?
That's yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably should fold.
I mean, you're at most likely at best playing for in that situation, you're playing for a side pot then.
Yeah. Turn three of spades. They check, which I'm absolutely thrilled that they check. We can't bet, can we? I'm just really kind of now just kind of hoping for showdown. Am I? Or should I be betting?
I mean, with
I
your
would like
ace, your good aces, you'd want to probably check, you know, in this situation, right?
Mhm.
So it makes sense to check. No, it's a snap call. Oh,
snap a raise.
snap raise, yeah. I thought he was gonna bet bigger.
So we raise. Are we getting called by the six of diamonds or the four of or spades? I mean, six of spades, four of spades,
Clubs
deuce of
or
spades.
I
ace.
mean, I think you're running into more marginal aces than spades.
But will he call if we raise?
As long as it's not
Like
huge.
5.
I think if you raise, yeah, I like
So
that.
so
And
maybe do another like mergey small raise, like just go to like
I mean, he's essentially checking.
yes.
So you can assume he's either about to blast you when you raise, or if you make it small enough, he calls.
Yeah, if he did check, would you bet your hand?
Hell yeah.
Mike?
Yeah, I don't know. I know what I do here. So what I do here, I think I probably would have done the same thing. Like if he checks, what I do is I just call this. I don't raise.
You just check back if you checked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
And maybe I shouldn't. Maybe
I
we
don't.
should be going for value. So we
We'll
would bet
call with
fold.
pairs even sometimes, not believe, or want to see your hand.
So if we bet and then or raise in this situation, if we raise and we get re-raised, we just fold, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm,
Well, there are some straights. There's a four liner now
But
that you might be able to.
to overvalue, like he that would be a
yeah,
bluff.
I guess we would have to fold, right? Even though he has a BPIP 58, is he really finding like an ace X bluff there on the river?
I mean, if he has ace four with the four of spades.
But he would just call Mike's raise then.
Good.
Oh, you mean if he came back over top? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so that's what I was wrestling
Like
with.
two
If we
pair.
raise,
Well,
if we bet.
Larry, we didn't hear anything from you. Would you, if he checked to you on the river, would you raise there or would you check back?
Yeah, that's a
Check
good one,
back.
Larry.
You would check back?
Yeah, you have marginal floating. Even
Right.
some of the time, I think it's well, it's maybe it's less than marginal. Maybe it's more than marginal. But I don't think it's a good enough flush to value that.
Hmm, this guy.
Ace deuce. Wow.
He probably calls, right? He probably calls a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you went to 10, he wouldn't fold.
Well, he
But
did have a
then,
marginal ace here.
but again, now results being results oriented here, if we do raise and he calls with this hand, but he also is going to call with every other spade,
Mhm.
the
yeah.
Yeah.
percentages of
Then
times he has
probably
the better
heavy four.
spades.
Especially, he does have more better spades, especially the way the board is run out with all these low spades. It's not.
But he called the flop like he would have already had a flush on the turn with better spades. He's not calling like a single king or a single queen to that flop raise. Unless he has like a king six off or king seven off.
He can't have he can't have ace with the queen of
He wants
spades, jack of spades, ten of spades, nine of spades, six of spades.
Well, uh, I think a lot of the hands would have got three bet, pre-flop too.
ace queen.
Like ace queen.
But remember the kinds of players we're dealing with. They don't three bet.
AB pip.
It's true.
Yeah. Zero three bets. That's 19 hands though.
Well, I'd say even the worst players are usually going to three bet ace queen.
In the
Oh,
church.
no, I disagree. I think the bad players almost never three bet ace queen.
Okay. I don't know. I don't want to look at it results wise. Obviously, we got more value if you bet, but I mean, you guys both think it's a good check and know more than me, so I would
Yeah.
say you guys
And
can't
it's
beat it.
close, right? That's
But
why
then if it's a bad player, they're also going to call way shittier hands too on the river, maybe.
Well, in my head, it was
Are they
I
going to
know I said he.
overfold or are they going to still call their two pairs? Are they going to call their sets?
I mean,
Their
I
set
thought there's a lot of
fives,
marginal aces that call.
yeah, you could be right.
five.
If you don't go huge, obviously, if you go huge, you're only getting called by better. But I think if you go like, yeah, like Dean's saying, five or six, you get even like a. I mean, there's a lot of even their shitty marginal aces. A lot of them turned into two pair as it ran out, and they're not going to want to fold that to a small bet.
Yep.
When you get blasted, I mean, I kind of just assume I'm behind then.
And we're gonna go multi-way again. We are against a short-ish stack, and an unknown three hands.
The 18 is a fishy. Nice hand.
He's
Um,
all the sets today.
I think you got a really good check raise candidate here.
You like a check
Yeah.
raise?
Hmm.
You're counting on this guy betting, right?
He's not gonna bet all the time. But I,
But if he doesn't get a call, it's like it's so nice. If somebody
So-
has an ace.
so we're in the middle of the sandwich. We know that we do a lot of checking. I think when you have this much equity, you can do anything you want, really, but I like a check raise here.
But I don't
Yeah.
mind betting either because
No, either's fine.
hmm
But the old adage, what's the best way to grow a pot? It's a check raise. You could argue this hand's too good to check raise.
There you go. So
If we don't want to generate folds. Check raise has a lot of fold equity. You saw that previously. We check raised loft and got top pair to fold
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
river or turn. I don't remember, but yeah, I think this is a check raise opportunity. Do you not get it? Okay, so now we're highly motivated to put in a lot of money. I would be 75.
now big blind's got the nuts.
Yeah, it's good size. Good call. So what's his calling range? He's got some straight draws, got some flush draws. Maybe a weekend, maybe a non-believing pair. Sevens would be interesting right here.
Mm-hmm. And he can have an ace still.
Still have an ace.
Less likely, like we know, like when they do check the flop, that we think they don't have as many aces, and
So if it's got 10 jet, so be it. I think you get to overbet here.
overbet to the tune of
30.
25 to 30.
wah, wah.
I didn't say 13. I said 30.
And it's gonna. fold
Oh, it
anyway,
wouldn't
he
matter.
folds.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
He's waiting for you to check and bluff or what?
Oh. It's got a gutter. And nothing else. He calls. Just, well, he's a gambler. Look at his beta.
Yeah.
He didn't get there.
Too bad he didn't have big blind's hand. He
What's
was
his
folding.
equity, out of curiosity? What's his equity on turn? Face up? Yeah, he doesn't have. He's no equity. He's 5%, so he's.
9% after the other guy folds.
Now he's got 9% off.
Yeah, if we bet the flop, I think they both fold. So results oriented thinking there.
And this is
Ooh,
interesting sizing.
Here's a good one because of the sizing.
Hmm.
I don't think this shouldn't be really too much of a question unless it's the opponent that we're thinking about. So yeah, they're kind of tight.
19 hands.
Like in
You know
theory,
you
I'm
have VPIP 11.
three betting
too.
this every time. But again, here we go. We got something that's kind of telling us maybe a little bit different.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm 3 betting.
I don't know what to do here.
3-bet fold.
Yeah, I think this is a better choice.
Mm-hmm.
This is the fearless but better choice. Yeah.
Womp womp.
Um, I think this is one and done. Now I don't know what's involved in his You probably don't remember if he was using this all night, this 3.5 RFI.
Yeah, no, I don't remember this opponent. And
I would
again,
bet around 10 and then give up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think giving up is fine. Now this gets into
Mm.
check. Now I think you check again.
Yep.
Now thin value. We go for the thin value. What's our thin value against?
Tens.
I think you use a thin value bet, fold to a raise. So like tens, eights. Ace, no, that's not gonna do it. King nine suited.
No.
Yeah, I would choose a bigger size here, making it more comfortable for me to fold. That's maybe a leak on my part, but I would use a D75 here. This may be a leak. Yeah, you have to think,
Oh,
I think I would value on myself there. I think I would value on myself to the tune of $40. You see now, 20
oh,
bucks.
did you say 40?
No, 20 bucks.
Oh, 20. Oh,
20 big blinds. I was thinking about 20 big blinds. I would value on myself to the tune of 20 big blinds here.
yeah, I think I'm a little surprised that I did check here because I think if I was gonna bet, I probably would go thin. Not thin, block, I mean.
Yeah.
Like a B10.
Yeah, I would use a bigger size and I would value on myself big time. That's
But here's an
my-
example of a oh, you know what? I wonder, is this the first hand this guy played where I saw his showdown and it was queens, and he later showed up with some bigger hands using this size, like there's an aces in there or something. But yeah, anyway, okay.
Mhm.
And that's probably the last of the marked hands because this doesn't look like anything.
Well, that was a good, those are some very interesting
was
hands,
good, yeah.
Mike. I really appreciate you
Sharing
spending
those.
time to show us that.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot from this session. Um. Does anybody else have marked hands? I've got one holding hand, and then if you guys want to see some degen bomb pots, I can show those. But I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be back, and then while I'm gone, why don't we think about what we want to do tomorrow? Quick break. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
sounds good.
Okay.
Mike, did you want to do the thing where we watched Hungry Horse and then talk
Yeah,
about it?
I watched it. I did my homework. Did you?
I didn't know what video he wanted us to watch.
Oh, he put it in chat that
Oh,
in fact,
I missed it.
I thought I still had it in my tabs, but I don't. It's
Is it where he goes through the 3-bet chart of like thick value, that
yes.
one? I already watched
Yes.
that one, but I'll watch it again. I definitely could use a refresher. I'm gonna go in like an hour. I'm gonna go play some live. So
Dean and Brendan, if you guys let me pull that up, put it in chat.
hey Brendan, where are you from?
Me, I mean, I'm here from the States, but I live in the DR.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man.
Where in the States are you at? I'm just trying to tell
Uh,
your accent.
I'm in South Carolina right now, like so.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a lot of family from South Carolina, but I'm not from here.
Okay, yeah. I'm looking at going to the DR soon.
So I put it in chat for the YouTube video that Larry suggested that we watch, or that we did it last week where we kind of watched it together. I suggested that we watch it on your own and then talk about the stuff we want to talk about. Just that's just my preference because
I agree with you. If we're gonna watch that, like, I prefer for it to be like interactive though. If we're gonna watch it all together.
or we bring like there's he has lots of little snippets in here. You share the time of that snippet, the thing that he talks about. And, you know, we can watch it together, just watch like, you know, the minute and a half of 2 minutes of this particular thing he's talking about, rather than spending 3 hours watching a video.
Well, also, is it helpful for you, Mike? Since I know you, like I just transitioned to live, so like it's very helpful for me to watch his stuff. But I know you only play online, so if it's not that, we can do a more theory based
Yeah.
videos because you're more of an online guy, and I feel like when I did play online a lot, I was trying to follow theory more.
Yeah, I mean his stuff is still applies to, you know, the players that I would consider not great. I think that's
Hmm.
because it's an exploitative form that he uses, right?
Yeah,
And so it
I
definitely still apply. I mean, you saw the kind of stuff that these players are playing in online. That still applies. Like you could totally take his strategy and apply it to the kind of crap that you just saw we went through.
that's true. I didn't think about that. I mean, yeah, I just find it difficult whenever I just didn't have a HUD, so I think it made it a little more difficult because you had to like I was like super focused on taking notes and making sure I'm really keeping up to date. And then they go in and out so fast that I felt like I had no time to actually use the information I gathered.
Yeah, when I played on a different site that wasn't anonymous, I took really detailed notes on players, whereas this other site that I'm playing on, I take notes, but they're not nearly as detailed because I know they're not, I'll never see them again. I won't know who it's with, you know, so I just take little notes and rely on HUD. But when it's not anonymous, I took really good detailed notes, had a shorthand version of players, and yeah, you can do that playing live.
Yeah. I have that on my phone now because I started to recognize a couple of people that are in there all the time. I got my nicknames for the people now. So know who I'm playing against. Yeah, I played Anonymous too. Anonymous is harder to keep track of, obviously.
So tomorrow, do you guys want to, we could do this. So this is the Hungry Horse 3-bet pot hand, video. Is that, is that what this is here?
Yeah, that's what that is in chat. Yes.
Do we wanna, we could like do like a trifecta of like watching that. Comparing, contrasting what it does in Solver. And just going through it and commenting on his strategy. Is that what we wanna do? Or we could go, yeah, wanna do that? Or we
Yeah.
could, the other option is just to like use solver and just go through solver hands. I mean, in the trainer, but I think I like going over the video more. What do you guys think?
I like the video, and I'm gonna play tonight, so I could bring hands if I get any good ones.
Okay, cool.
I got a few hands. If y'all want to see some of those.
Yeah, you have hands right now?
Yeah, I got some. I got some loaded up.
Okay, cool. So why don't I show this one hand and then
Yeah.
we'll hand it over to you. Alright, so I've got just one hand. I didn't play this weekend. So. This is. You got kings. We opened to 10 and default for live play. And we get a squeeze after a flat and small blind. What size you guys gonna use here? So these stack sizes are as best I can remember. So he's just putting 25% of his stack.
Hmm.
Kind of a weird spot.
And this is live.
This is live.
And do you have any? You play with this person?
Yeah, I was just at the table and I did not know this. No, I have no information about these guys at this time.
I mean, he put in a quarter of his stack. I would say either trap or jam.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If you're going to raise, just jam.
I think jamming is fine. I don't want to trap because I don't want to invite this guy in. I don't want to take the same multi-way.
Nope.
Even
Yeah,
though
I
I get to
wouldn't.
play.
I wouldn't flat.
I get to play in position. So I did not choose, I chose a weird size here. I chose to go 120.
Okay.
And he folds, he calls. So, this is pretty common line. He's not really thinking about what his theoretical call off range is. He's not thinking about, well, I'm now pot committed
Ace high flop.
and we get this flop.
Interesting.
And so,
How do you put
is
80
he?
in and win?
yeah, we just put 80 in and win. Or I chose to, I thought our hand is so good here. He has the ace of spades, I mean, ace of hearts, I don't care. So I check back here. Cause I mean, our SPR is 0.3. So it doesn't really matter. We're always getting this in. And then what are you guys doing here? We get the flush with second nuts.
What does he do? I assume he checks.
He checks.
Check.
Yeah, I think I would check now.
So I did, this replayer scuffed. He checked. I bet, a very exploitative 20 here,
Really? Okay.
and he just folded.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So. I guess the real question here for me in this hand are these two plays. This size. Here. I think shoving is fine, obviously. But I decide that. Shoving might be better because he might put in his ace king.
Yeah. Or he put you on ace king. He'll put you on ace king.
Yeah, they always push on ace king.
Get nines.
Yeah.
Yeah, shoving might be better here because because he's so pot committed here.
This
think
is
I like
what these
shove more.
big inflated bet sizes do. It's like you just get your stuff in.
Yeah, and this is kind of a weird dynamic of live play. So,
But
Yeah.
what hand does he fold if you jam there? Ooh,
question. Probably not ace king, but we're heavily blocking it. Not. So
he didn't have queens because
he might have like
Queen jack.
ace queen suited or I think ace queen suited. Is the only hand he would probably fold. Well, no, he's
Right.
definitely not folding it, but pre-flop we're
That's-
talking about. So ace queen suited, maybe. That's it.
And remember all the stupid idiot stuff that they have here?
Mm-hmm.
true.
Yeah,
Jack
So
nine of clubs.
yeah. So maybe, well, Jack nine of clubs is folding. We don't want Jack nine of clubs to fold,
No, yeah.
but maybe it probably would fold to a 4-bet.
Yeah.
Maybe a shove is better here for the reasons you're talking about, which is anything that he's going to squeeze here against UTG, he's just gonna call off.
Yeah, but it's live, so like I think you made a good play. I was just kind of wondering.
I mean, I'll give you an example. So
And are
one
you
time I
like
was
the-
playing blind versus blind and I had kings and playing against a guy new. And so I raised, he 3-bet. I raised to like 7 or 10 probably. He 3-bet. So I don't remember, like 30. We were playing like the big blinds deep. And I remember I took a moment with my kings. I remember him saying to me, "Jam, go ahead, jam." Kind of that, like, kind of the thing you see sometimes live. And I did jam. I went to 70. And then he went in the tank. And then he eventually folded. And he folded ace queen off. So he was ready to, I think this is common. So when you take a 4-bet sizing like that, player who's got some experience, not necessarily, this is kind of player that is not studied, but a player that has street
Played
poker
enough.
knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
They know that your 4-bet is very top of range.
Yeah, because your image isn't that of like you're sitting at the table like 4-betting a lot.
Yeah,
you're-
you play 1-3.
outrageous.
I play 1-2.
So They also
see what-
notice like player image at
Straddle.
least.
Yeah, so he folded, and if I just shoved,
OMCs will shove like more ace
He
king
will-
type stuff.
yeah, he would have, OMC will. He would have called off his ace queen blind with his fine, but he folded because um he knew my 4-bet range was super linear. So anyway, all right,
Yeah.
so Brendan, you have some hands, right?
Yep.
Good to
I got
think
some
about.
hands.
All right, man, floor is
Think
you.
about when to shove, when to 4-bet. Nice
Yeah,
hand.
it's true.
Think about.
I'm gonna step away, but Brendan, the floor is yours.
All right. So let's get started. This was one of my first hands. I just recently started playing on ACR, so we got some hands here. From a few different sessions, but okay. So starting it off, opening up here, or actually
Make
not
it-
opening.
Could you make it bigger?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
All right.
45 and 2 zigzags.
So we get an open under the gun, and I mean, just looking at a lot of these players, he's really tight over 39 hands. I probably should be folding this, but I decided to come along just to kind of see where we are, get a heads up. And then we get to this flop. So now I'm sitting here looking like I'm like, okay, I got a gut shot. I'm not folding. We'll see how he decides to continue. He continues there. Like I say, I'm not
Mhm.
folding. I got a gut shot, backdoor flush. So I continue. Now the ace comes.
Mm.
So I'm assuming he's going to continue a lot on this just because it kind of hits his range. He still has a lot of nuts being the under the gun razor. So opener, but he checks. So I'm like, okay, that seems interesting. So, I check back.
Mhm.
And then the queen
Mm.
comes on the river. Now he leads kind of small, like third pot. Now, my mind here is I have no showdown value, obviously.
No.
And I'm trying to figure out, do I have any bluffing opportunities? What do you guys see on this?
I'm working on finding more bluffs like this.
Yeah,
So
it's a good bluff.
what I would do, I don't know how you feel about
Return
it.
all, you don't want to do like all your flush draws, but I mean, this one seems like shitty and good.
Yeah, just because it's like a junky flush draw. Maybe if I had
Mhm.
like a king nine or something flush draw, I probably wouldn't bluff it. Maybe, but like with the
Yeah.
6-8, it's like it's just pure trash. So I go for a big one, and especially because he checked back the turn, I'm assuming he has like no aces there. Maybe he just has like king queen suited or something like that. And I also figured just because I flatted pre-flop, I do have king jack in my range. So I mean, even with that, it's like I think he would have went bigger with a straight. So I went ahead and went big with the bet, and I get the fold.
We could have been trappy with like a set on the flop and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Nice.
Would you ever check raise that? Would you ever raise that flop whenever he comes bets into you?
With that board texture, I think I could just because it's 10 high some because I got a lot of 10x maybe in my range, but with the 5 and the 4, I don't know about that. If I called from like the big blind, I probably would check raise more on that one, I think.
We're flatting
And
like
that
queen
flop.
10 on the button, right?
Yeah, I could have
Queen
queen
10, so we
10.
could, yeah. So it's
I
a
think
good
Queen
raise.
10 does actually have a lot of 3 bets in the button. But obviously,
I
don't
mean,
really.
not against this VPIP though. Like
Oh, yeah, no,
he's
Mm.
that's true.
he's pretty tight with his VPIP and his raise first in is 6%, 1 out of 16, or no, we have 1 out of 16 hands.
My
He
only
gives
question
a higher. Mhm.
involving this bluff is that you're at least the way I'm thinking about it is you have a ton of missed draws here. So like I don't know. I mean, I feel like a better player can see a lot of bluffs here because when the ace comes out, there's like a lot of that takes away a lot of his draws, but that puts a lot more draws in your range,
Right.
and that makes it. But I mean, it worked obviously, so
Can you
nothing
do
wrong
a
with it.
can you
I'm
do a
just
quick
question.
can you do a quick recap of the action? I just got back.
Okay.
I
So
forget Mike this one.
under the gun with a 13%, VPIP
Oh,
comes
yeah.
out. I'm on the button with 6-8. I flat. We go
Should be
heads
a
up.
fold.
Should be a fold. Yeah, I was just saying that earlier. It should have been a
Okay,
fold.
gotcha. All right. But we're here. All right.
So we get here. I got gut shot, backdoor, shitty backdoor, flush draw. He leads for, about
Yeah.
half pot.
See bet B50.
Yeah. I decided to float this, being that I got the gut shot in the back door.
Oh, I was thinking this is the spot for the raise, but okay.
Yeah.
Like same thought as me.
Right. So definitely I was thinking that I wasn't sure if I had any like raises here on this one because I'm thinking he still has a lot of overpairs, especially, with him opening that tight. But so I decided to just float it and then the ace
When
comes. So
when he's in that situation and he's supposed to bet larger, at least I'm pretty sure when he's out of position there, he on a board like that, he's supposed to be betting bigger, less frequently. And when he doesn't, I don't know. Like, tell me how. Like, this is just my brain. I would like to see what you guys think. I think I'd love to check raise those spots, or not check raise, but just raise those spots when I have the advantage and they're not punishing me enough by betting larger.
Yeah,
I
if
mean
you have the advantage here, which I think you would here, like in theory you would. I don't know. You're going to have a lot of
It's
raises.
pretty close.
However,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have as many fours, as many fives. You have all the fours, all the fives, all the tens, even maybe not all of them because you might three bet tens at some frequency, and then you also have 4 or 5 suited at a higher frequency probably than he does. So yeah, I think you can definitely punish a range bet type strategy.
Yeah, that's part of why I wanted to, because like if he bets bigger, I love the call. You have a bunch of outs, but and a lot of cards that can improve. But when he bets smaller like that, I mean, I want to punish the hell out of him for not making it bigger.
okay, makes sense. So then, like I say, the ace comes, bringing in part of the backdoor flush draw, but he checks the ace, which really
Yeah.
should have been the better card for him, and he should have been continuing on that ace. I assumed. So because he checks, I take my free card. I'm not about to bluff into his range with
But
my
he's not
draw
going to
because he could just have
continue his
kings.
range on an ace
And
because
eight,
like
you're gonna
his kings don't want to bet now, and
and
queens don't want to bet. His jacks don't want to bet on the turn.
And either do his like ace kind of rag type stuff he might have raised pre-flop, like an ace 6 suited or an ace 3 suited or an ace 7 suited. They might want to check there too.
Mm-hmm.
and he should be checking a lot of his ace highs on the flop anyways. So it would be weird that he'd bet on the ace now after because he should be checking his ace highs there, unless it's ace 10, obviously.
Right. So yeah, I really thought it was kind of weird, especially with a player that he was kind of playing pretty face up for what I could have seen up to that point. And like I say, he's just hadn't been playing a lot of hands just because he's not V-pipping a lot. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. He checks the ace, but like you say, he can check back some of those. Then the queen comes and he bets small.
Yeah. Oh no, I think this is a great raise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like yeah, and at this point I'm like, all right, if he did have ace 10, if he did have pocket queens or pocket aces or anything like that, he would wanna, try to milk this, get some more value out of that. But anyway, I go for that and I get the fold. So
Yeah, I think as once you got there, I think the raise is great.
okay.
Just rather
Personally.
see the flop raise.
Yeah, I would have folded pre-flop, considered raising the flop for sure. I think the check back's good on the turn. And then,
Hmm.
yeah, at least for me, that's my thinking.
Yeah, I like the check back on the turn and the raise on the river too.
Yeah.
But what are
Appreciate.
you repping when you check the turn, raise the river? This is
Yeah,
just a
I'm
that's
with you.
just what I'm wondering.
I mean,
Because
tens, fives, fours. I still got all the sets from the flop because I would probably slow play those sets on the flop. So
I
I mean,
mean, would you still play them when the flush draw comes out and there's a straight draw on the board?
if I had tens with a spade, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I'm just kind of shooting the
Rep
shit
that
at this
Jack
point.
Oh,
King.
I'm just trying to think of what the line we're representing is, because it seems like an odd line from us as well as it's also an odd line from him.
I mean, also checking back, like I say, I do have King Jack there. So it's like, say I have King Jack of spades or King Jack of hearts. I would
Yeah.
check back that ace.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I feel like you can rep. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else because there's no really two pairs. I mean,
Yeah, no. No real two pairs. I mean, even my ace five would probably have raised
Hmm.
pre-flop. Um Ace
I think
four probably might have did it too.
Queen 10, yeah, that's probably the only two pair you could rep.
And you wouldn't have checked back ace four on the turn, like ace
Yeah.
four diamonds.
Yeah, I wouldn't have checked back ace four. I wouldn't have
Yeah,
checked
so I
back
mean, it's a
two
polarizing
pair.
bet. It's good. It's a
Yeah.
good polarizing bet.
So that's one. Yeah, let's see where we at here. I'm gonna go in order. I'll go to this
But
one.
it also is a spot you could easily do it like too many bluffs, huh? Because you have like six,
Yeah.
seven there. If you have six, eight, if you have like a ton of shit things that you call to see a backdoor flush and you hit the backdoor flush.
So how would you balance that by just checking back your king highs and things like that, or calling off king highs and then, you have like what, a couple of value hands that you would raise with, and then you could mix in a couple of bluffs that have no equity, I'm
Yeah, I
assuming.
guess you'd have to go, man.
It's a hard spot to be balanced, obviously.
Hmm.
But
I
honestly,
don't know. I mean, I'd probably call all my tens. I'd probably, I mean, king high. I mean, I would probably call king high only if like I don't block the flush draw, because then he could be bluffing the flush draw. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would call. I mean, such a small bet, a third pot bet on the river. I don't know
well,
if
yeah,
I would call my king highs there.
you call your queen jacks, your most of your queens. So like your queen jack, you obviously re-raise your queen 10. You shouldn't really have ace 10 specifically in that position because you should have bet it on the turn. What else could you
Yeah.
have? 10-9 that you can just call off. Queen, king, queen, but in queen, king, queen suited. You can just call king, queen suited. You don't have to three bet it. Uh, I'm just trying to think of how you can be balanced in that
Yeah,
specific
I think
scenario.
in that situation, I do have a lot of bluffs that I could have. Um, I don't know. One of the things that really just did it was for me to decide on that was just simply because he kind of capped his range to me when he went check turn bet small river, because
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, he could still have pocket kings, but pocket kings are going to be in a disgusting spot if, against a raise, a big raise. And even if he didn't have a king and he say even had like pocket queens, that's still a very difficult spot for someone who gets check raised big, because they unblock all the straights and the straights all get there.
I
They
think in
just
our game they're calling you off with pocket queens and kings all day.
pocket queens, I think they would. Kings, maybe. Um, Kings probably because they block the king jack and they're probably good. But yeah, I don't know. It just depends. I wish I knew what he had because
Can you do the show cards on it? Is it or is
yeah,
that yesterday?
I don't know if I can do the show card on that.
No, it's not
He
on
didn't-
ACR.
he
That's on
didn't-
the other site. Or I mean,
Yeah, he
Uh,
didn't show.
not on this weird site, on the other weird site.
Show hold cards.
Yeah,
Uh,
they didn't show. He didn't show.
You're not gonna get that on.
Yeah, not on ACR. Like not on there. All right. So yeah, back to this one. All right. So A7, spades on the button. I open it up. Get 2 callers. Get to the flop. It goes check to me. I decide to check back here. I think I probably have leads being in position here, but with the 6 and the 5 and them flatting, I think that definitely ties into their range. So it made me want to just check, especially because, I mean, I guess I could have led here with the A7 of spades. I got the backdoor flush draw. I think I kind of like a lead. I'm not a lead, but I think a continuation bet here a little more. What do you think?
Yeah, I think c betting here is fine on a king high flop when you have some backdoor equity and you're in position. I would c bet sometimes here about 3 to 4 big blinds.
What about this specific ace? I know a lot of the time you do. I mean, you're supposed to see bet a lot of these king high boards, especially in position, but with your ace with showdown
Yeah, like
and
after
into
this
2
hand,
players.
I mean,
After
one
this-
question you can ask yourself here is how much does a check raise suck? And you could argue check raise sucks pretty bad here because you've got backdoor equity 2 ways and you got an over to the king.
yeah.
So I think you can go either way here.
Like the thing, yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like I kind of after the hand thought like I should probably lead on this because I got 3 to a straight, I got the back door, and I got the over to the king. So it's like I got a lot of
Nice.
We're just straight through a flush.
There we go.
well 3 to a straight with 6, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
3 to a
it's got
straight,
backdoor straight,
and
backdoor
I got
flush.
the back door flush.
Yeah.
So a
Bet
lot of
over.
backdoor equity and everything, and I got the overcard to the king. So
I agree.
I
Well, I
think-
like what you did
think-
because you can't call a check raise.
Yeah. You can't. So this becomes a good check back to realize your equity event.
Yeah, I agree. I think either way, you could bet this. This particular hand on this board is a good for a bet, and it's also fine to check too.
Agreed.
all right, so the 8
Interesting
comes-
turn.
Very interesting. So now I block the straight here, which is good. And I'm thinking that as the hand goes, and he leads for 5. 5 bigs. Big bet into 9. And then he folds out. So it's back on me.
So you're not getting direct odds, but you have implied odds here.
Mhm.
So
Assuming
you're
you're
gonna
not
hit
going
your
to be.
straight 18% of the time. And he's offering you 26%.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
We lost him. Interesting spot.
Oh no.
So-
It
so
was
Dean-
getting good.
what hands would you consider value on the turn there to check back that don't get kind of taken down to marginal by the river?
You can check back 2 pairs, it's all right. You can check back like sets, it's okay. You don't have to bet everything on the turn, all your whole range of value. You can have a protected checking range too. Because like, is your whole check range gonna be trash? So then he can just check to you, and if you check, then he knows you ain't got shit. Or at least don't have anything that can call. And then he should just bet big and make you fold your entire range on the river.
So that mean like on the flop, when you flop, 2 pairs set, you're just calling there, and then when he checks to you, you're checking back. And then having that, I mean,
Oh yeah, I mean, why not?
I'm
you
just-
always just want to bet every time and he just folds every time.
no, I
I'm just
agree with
saying,
you.
like, you can, if you want to find more balance on that river, that's the way to do it. You got to get there with more value, I guess. And how do you do that? You got to be able to protect your check range with more value.
I'm just trying to think of the logical hands to get in there.
All right, Brendan, you're back.
Computer tried to die on me, but I'm
No
back.
worries. So here, yeah, I would call. understanding there's some rivers I'm gonna bluff.
Yeah, Larry, and you also mentioned like the direct odds we have, and that's assuming, of course, we're already beat and or just against a hand that can only be beat by a straight.
Yeah, that's valid. That's a good point.
All right, so I do call, and I hit the gin card on the river.
Hmm.
So unless he has 10-7, but so then he decides to check. Now he led the turn. He comes out here. Now, what are your thoughts here? Well,
So it depends on what part of your range you want to target. I usually think we go for the top of range here. And we hope he has a king, a stubborn king. So I would bet anywhere from B75 to B150 here. Hoping that we get a call. Yeah, this is pot's good.
yeah, so I go pot, and we get a fold.
Yeah, that's fine.
So yeah, not sure exactly what he had, but
Yeah, I think you can bet big here. I mean, it depends on what part of his range. He probably maybe had a speculative hand, but
because I mean, I mean, I know he has bluffs like trying to lead on the turn. Maybe he thinks it's just good for his range. I'm trying to think what value hands he has kind of there that he's leading into two people on the turn with. I mean, at that point, I'm thinking sets, a king high, um, maybe some two pairs with like 8-5 or 6-5 or something like that that didn't want to donk the flop. But yeah, I kind of figured he might have had something, at least maybe like a decent king high or maybe like a two pair. But
yeah. Well, he probably didn't. Yeah, I mean, when you get there, I don't think usually you want to try to target getting a call. We want to target getting a call from the top of his range.
yeah,
We're going to generate a lot of folds, but that's okay if you look at the numbers and how the math works out. It is more profitable over time to target his top of range with our thick value. This is
Okay.
a thick value hand.
Cool beans. Number 3. Let's see. Let's go back. All right, so starting cut off, pocket nines, 5-handed. So I raise it up, then I get 3-bet from the button. Folds back to me.
You can defend, yeah.
You can, but you don't have to.
Good point.
Yeah, and that was one of the things. It's like I kind of tried to look at a few different things. One, kind of how he was playing my stack, covering him. So I'm like, all right, I think I can kind of float this. I like my nines. I want to
Your
kind of go
flop
with
is
it.
set.
That
Yeah,
works.
exactly. You know, go fishing, catch a
Should
big
don't you normally wouldn't you rather be covered by them when you are going to be getting into a pot like this with a hand that to hopefully raise your implied odds of getting their whole stack?
Who covers who is irrelevant. It's the amount of big blinds total effective.
Okay. Okay, so
You
it's
know what I
still
mean?
enough either way. It's still 108.
Yeah, and I suppose there's some psychological things that people probably talk about, like if he has like this monster stack that maybe he's playing differently because he's got so many chips in front of him. Maybe there's some element to that, but otherwise it's just strictly if it's numbers, it's just strictly effective stacks, and it doesn't matter if somebody has more or less. It's whoever has the least,
Okay.
right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I was just thinking as in you want maximum, be able to extract maximum value either way, which is essentially what you're saying. Is it just has to be at a threshold instead of it being like it doesn't matter if you have more than them. It just matters if there's a maximum, if there's enough for you to call to make enough money that you can call and hope to hit
Right.
a set.
Bingo.
So hit it. I check to him. Obviously, I'm not gonna lead here when he's the 3-better. He comes in with a big size. So I don't at this point, my mind is he's coming in with a big size he can't really have much on this board other than an overpair. There's no draw, so I'm thinking if he went smaller, I would have check raised, but with the size he went, I figure I can just flat.
Yeah, I think flatting's fine. You also want to think about what your SPRs will be when you call. So when you call roughly 32 plus 22, 55, then you're gonna have 90 back.
So like almost 2-to-1.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's less than SPR2.
Yeah, a
So
little
you
bit
can
less
call
than-
here. I would call here. I mean, you have a really beautiful hand on a beautiful texture. I would call here.
Yeah. Not really afraid of getting outdrawn too bad unless he has like pocket aces or overpair or something like that. So then the 8 comes, so under a card, but I'm not really expecting him to have Jack 10. Maybe he might have Jack 10 suited that 3 bets me pre-flop.
Yeah, he's got 4
Mhm.
combos to beat you, so be it.
Like
Yeah.
6.
So
You've got 20.
because of that-
Remember also, you've got 20% equity against Jack 10, approximately,
okay.
What do you guys think?
because you can still boat up.
What do you
and hit
guys think
flops.
about donking on this very specific card?
That's an
I don't
interesting
like it.
idea.
Like donking
I-
small, like a B30, to B25.
So Mike, is that being driven by the fact that he's gonna check back a lot here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a really clever
Yeah.
idea.
Hmm. Okay.
But
Yeah,
anyway.
I didn't really think too hard about the donking because with him leading so big on the flop, I'm thinking, he might have like Jacks plus or something like that. So I did decide to check here. The donk does seem like a good play. It seems interesting. I never really thought about it that way, but yeah, he's gonna have a lot of checkbacks here, I would assume.
And that's
Yeah,
not
check.
driven, again, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, but it's not driven by you having straights now. It's driven by he's gonna check back a lot.
Right,
And you still want him to call with his overpair.
right.
Checking is the natural thing to do here for sure.
Okay. Well, that's what I did. I checked and he went big. So
Beautiful.
So he's pot committed at this point,
Yeah.
and you have 2 choices. You can check shove here, which is the conventional choice. Or you can call and dunk shove river, which is not a play I have, but I think is a play that makes a lot more sense, a lot of sense, and it's just not something I have in my arsenal. But-
I would jam. I would just
Yeah,
get
I think both of those are fine. You jam here, you get value from like king, queen clubs, for instance. Maybe some other sticky stuff. Yeah, I think check jamming is here. Your choices are jam or dunk jam river.
And that was my exact thought. I'm like, okay, if he is drawn to a flush or whatever, I don't want to give him, his price to see the river. He's gonna have to pay my price. So I went ahead, jammed. He's like you say, he's pot committed. So I just figured, this is the best hand I'm gonna have at this point. So
That's just got a bluff. We might have an air bluff there.
yeah. And he folds.
Yeah, he had ace king.
I kind of figured like at that point, I'm really thinking at that point he has like Jacks plus, like, okay, he's just, has an overpair that he just can't, get rid of. So I'm like, okay, let me try to get the money in here.
Yeah, this play's fine.
Yeah, the only thing we lose to is, not lose to, the only thing we're missing is by jamming, we don't give him a chance to do something on the river with the stupid, crappy trash stuff that they wind up with.
Yeah. That's that one.
There could also be a lot of shitty rivers that
Kill it.
you just don't get value on either.
Yeah. So got king 8 suited in the cutoff, 4-handed, raise up, get a couple callers. Flop trips.
You're making 3 of a kind on every hand.
Yeah, I know, feeling good, man.
Makes it easy to win.
Mhm.
Definitely does. Now with this, like I said, I got too much of the board really, so I kind of just check it up. I mean, I probably could lead here, just being the pre-flop raiser. They could have some flush draws or whatever, but I kind of just want to see what happens. Then he kind of comes out, in position. I wanted to see what he did, so he ended up betting out in position.
I have a question for Dean real quick. So in a situation like this, when you could make the call here and like you could balance your range, would you balance your range by like betting, like by calling with like ace eight and then raising like king eight? Is Dean still here?
Oh yeah.
To keep, those
Like we
stronger
said,
hands in by the
the
turn and
turn
river?
was called. Yeah, so we just checked and they called or they bet and then
They
we
raise.
just.
Yeah, instead of like raising and raise with your king eight, which he didn't do, but are like
No,
raising
we
and
want to
then
raise with ace eight and then just go down like our 9-8. We can check or something
okay,
like that.
okay.
And we don't have to bet every single eight, I don't think. But we might on this because there's like actual draw happening here with the clubs. The other one was rainbow, I think, until the turn.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now with the two suits, speaking on like a check raise here, would I be more inclined to? Well, I can't have king eight of hearts. I mean, there's no backdoor flush draw I can have here really, unless I had maybe like king six of hearts. Would you maybe check raise that?
I think that's a good candidate. You do have showdown.
Yeah, the
You
king
don't
six is
want him to
good to check call because we got.
you don't want to fold out his ace high.
Yeah. Well, I call. We get a queen of hearts on the turn. So now we got double flush draws on board. And check. Since he wanted to lead out, I figured he'd probably go for it again. So he raises, and then would you be raising here?
Is this the same player?
Yeah, same. Oh, from the last hand, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's this is all from the same table, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean, we're seeing this guy's being pretty aggressive. I don't know if you have like a read or anything, a stat that, kind of indicates that he's been pretty aggressive. Because like even the last hand, yeah,
Well, yeah, look at his VPIP. He C bets 50, C bets the turn 100.
yeah, I could see you just playing a trap type game against this person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
and I
just
can't remember if this hand came before or after the pocket nines hand, but yeah, that's probably why I checked, was because he's been fairly aggressive here, and I'm getting there, but I did decide to raise this just because it did have the double flush draw there. I don't want to give him too cheap of a price to peel for whatever it is that he's looking for. Um, Sizing wise, I mean, it's not a click back, but it's not a really big raise.
Yeah, almost
two and a
3x.
half.
All right.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you even still give him an opportunity to jam over the top of it.
Yeah.
okay. So he ends up calling. So now I'm like, all right, he at least has something, some type of equity that he's trying to see and get through. So then we get the blankest of blank rivers. And with the narrow SPR, what's the thoughts here?
All of it.
Anything. Yeah, you could, but also because of his aggressive ways, you could check too. Would be a funny exploit because he'll just bomb away his trash and probably go
Yeah.
thin for value too. So you'll get like a queen, he'll get queen X or something that he had.
Yeah.
Also, you played with him before, and he saw you bet big on the river prior, and he folded out. If you do something different, you might give him a chance to do something stupid.
Yeah, I went for all of it. In this instance, I was like, with him going hard on the queen, maybe he has a queen. I didn't think about that too much. I'm like, okay, if he did have a draw, he probably would just bluff it all off anyway, and that's a way to get max value. He ends up actually calling though, so
Ooh.
we we end up getting it in. And any thoughts on what he has?
I think he has no less than queen.
Jack or
Yeah.
10.
Queen 7 or something dumb.
Could he have nine? Like, would he ever call with something like nines or
Hmm.
eight, six of hearts? Just bluff catching? I don't know. I don't think he does, but
Queen Jack.
Queen Jack.
Queen Jack of clubs. So
So does he bet? I mean, obviously he ends up calling, which is good, but do you think he ends up betting here with his aggression? But then I like the play you did. You get all the money versus when he bets and doesn't go all in. He likely doesn't go all in, and he bets somewhat smaller, and you raise. Now he has an easy fold. So I like, yeah, the big bet seems great then.
I think he probably checks behind the river.
You think he does?
I think so. I would think so. I don't know. It'd be pretty thin to go for a bet versus when you just got check raised on the turn.
yeah,
It's
but
true.
if he gets check raised on the turn and I check that river,
Yeah,
it
it looks.
makes it look like a busted flush draw that I give up. Maybe he
Yeah.
goes
So
for it.
that's what I mean. Then he bets and then you fold all your draws. But if he bets
Yeah.
and you call, you're beating queen jack every time.
Yeah, and he still has value with top pair, top two.
And every time you raise, he doesn't call. So you got maximum value, obviously.
Okay. Yeah, like I say, that was an interesting one that kind of happened. Nope, this is a different guy. All right, so let me shrink that one.
Another king 8.
Yeah, I know, man.
It's gonna be 886.
This one I'm under the gun though, so I raise it up under the gun. Get
7.
call from the button, call from the big blind, going 3 ways to the flop, and I got
Pretty good.
open-ended. So it checks to me, and I decided to lead out on this one. I decided to continuation bet just because I kind of I feel good about my equity here. And I don't have, yeah, I think if I had like king 8 of clubs, spades, or diamonds, I might have checked back this one. Just because, I got additional equity leading in there. I have less equity now with the hearts, but I'm still open-ended. So I was like, let me try to see what I can do to maybe clean
So
up
in
some
theory,
equity.
this texture is a
So
check
you're
a lot,
fat.
but
Yeah.
then this texture also becomes a very good check raise. So I would like a check raise here.
I check
Does
raise.
does theory bet larger in this situation?
Yeah, Barry would check a lot, and then when it does bet, it would use larger sizing.
Okay. So I get
Uh.
I get a call, and then I get him to get
This is a very
big,
tough spot.
big.
This is also arguably an argument for check raising. I mean, for checking, right?
Right.
If you check, you get to see what they do. If you check, and this guy chooses to bet in butt, and this guy check raises, you understand where you are a lot more.
Just raise
The other
extra
part here is
percentage.
like this is one of those guys like I'm sure you guys see it, like they buy in short So you see, he only has, like 30 bigs to start the hand
Yeah,
anyway.
this is pretty common.
So it's like this is one of the annoying things that I always run into because it's like it's these people who buy in short and then they're just blasting their stack in, and I'm like, are they just fishing for something? Do they just always have it? Like,
So you're
it's kind of hard to read.
33% to hit a flush here, right? I mean, hit straight.
Right?
You have the guy behind to worry about. It is a rainbow texture. So I think I might fold here actually. Multi-way.
Yeah. And then like,
Tight
What about
fold, but I
getting
think
it
I might
in
do it.
and isolating the small stack with your decent amount of equity?
That's what I was thinking. I
Yeah, it's
don't know if
not
that's
bad.
I don't know if that's good or not.
I mean, you're
It's
pot
terrible when you get
committed.
called.
He's never folding, right? I mean, he's pot committed now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you have the fold equity to go along with it, but you might have enough equity with the hand you have.
I'm saying it's terrible when you get called
on
by
the
the
button.
button. That's what I like.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want the button.
He's got
Yeah,
30
you
in the
don't
button
want the
calls.
button
Oh,
to call.
Yeah, I think this is a really awkward spot, no?
Yeah,
Again, I think this
put
is an
myself.
argument for checking on
Yeah.
flop, but here I think I probably fold. You're getting direct odds, right? But there's a argument about future game. If you call, and then I bet you fold, checks turn, and then you check turn.
This was the
Button
other thing that kind
could
of
shove on you and deny your equity. I would fold a lot here.
I was wondering if
really
we
sucks,
want button to
but
be
I
in the
would-
hand
yeah.
with us.
yeah, I mean, actually, because if we hit, you're like, you want the extra juice.
Your
Yeah, you've got
implied
implied
odds go
odds with
way up.
button, but you don't have any implied odds with big blind.
And I'm gonna
Well,
say, like after the fact, I'm thinking being suited to the board would have been a better reason to call here
Right.
because I still have that additional equity of those backdoor flushes.
Yep.
Like he was playing really really loose here. You can see like a RFI of 72%.
Yeah,
So
he's a fish.
yeah, he's just in there with just anything. So I mean, with that, I end up flatting, which I actually hate, like because then he's getting great odds to come along with it.
Yeah, but like we were saying, maybe that's okay because
Mhm.
now you have even more implied odds, although you aren't drawing to the stone cold nuts when you like
Right.
hit a jack.
Yeah,
You could
jack's
be
bad.
That's a good point.
so maybe it's not great in that sense. But I was thinking if you have him come along, that you could be getting some more implied odds to go with it. But
well, it's
So
also, I mean, playing these guys that buy in short, your king is probably live.
yeah. Like,
yeah,
and
that's
that's the thing, like those people who buy in short, it's like I'm still trying to navigate how to play against them because they are usually really loose and aggressive with their short stack. And it's like, there's times where I call them down because it just seems too fishy. And it's like they just have it. And then there's other times where they just have absolutely nothing. So I don't understand the strategy
Oh, they're there to
behind.
gamble, man.
Yeah.
My roommate does it. Like he'll buy in and just buy in short and just start blasting. And if he wins money, he does. Or if he doesn't, he's like, whatever. I only lost $20.
so we're talking about the equity versus this guy's range. And like I said, I think if you could, like you're making this call now, but if we had raised, let's say, and we know we knock out the button, and just getting it in with this short stacks range of hands,
Mhm.
like I don't think you're getting a good price to see one card, but you might be doing just fine seeing two cards. So like
Yeah,
right
we need
now,
to see the two.
if the turn comes a deuce and then he jams, maybe you're still going to be okay drawing to a straight. But with two cards to come, I think your equity is actually
It's like
pretty decent.
40. Like if you include your king outs, you're like 44%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Assuming he doesn't have a set, but I mean, you can assume there's a lot of one pair hands he's got right now
But
that he
of
does
course,
this with.
hit.
And there you hit. Yeah, that works too.
Yeah, so I got lucky with this one, so that was a good one. And then he just jams his whole stack. There's
Don't
nothing
misclick.
but yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nothing to do but just call that off. And then the queen comes,
Oh,
Ugh.
never know. You never
kind of
know.
nasty, but either way, all of it's in there. He just went all in with, two pair.
Yeah.
What do you think our equity is against his specific hand on the turn with 2 cards to come? How do you think we're doing with the dead money that's in there, the money that's in there versus his specific hand?
On the flop.
Yeah,
Isn't it just your straight outs then?
because all your straight outs are good, and then some board pairing outs are also.
So wait, you probably have like
Yeah.
35% with 2 cards to come. You have like 35%, right? 40%.
Probably closer to
Mhm.
35, actually. So optimistic.
Well, I mean, you put your
85,
straight outs in, you have
4,
32.
32, yeah.
And then if you add all, well, then it's also if you add, well, you can't add 9 or 7, you can have 10.
The
And then-
runners
10
aren't
and
going
a
to be.
king.
So
Yeah, the
you,
runners are going to be great, but
problem is if you hit 10, you still need to hit obviously
35.
king or, yeah, king.
just put it in the calculator quick.
So,
Anybody else
like-
putting it in?
so in
Okay,
other
yeah.
words, it would be like if you knew like he had 2 pair was or bottom 2 pair was like his hand, you would be just fine. It'd be profitable to go ahead and run your equity against the rest of his stack.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then even the times that you're against, I mean, the times you're against 2 pair with players like this is so low that you're usually against a 1 pair hand that might even be worth, it might even be a 7 that you have so much equity against.
Like, and one of the reasons was because I had the 8, I discounted the chance that he had a straight already with, Jack 8. So I mean, I kind of figured he either like hit a top pair and he's just, blasting and just going with his top pair or something kind of like how he has.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I kind of figured, I had decent equity against whatever he might have, but I wasn't sure. And then it's like because I had hearts, I also was doubting the way I played it, just simply because it's like I don't have those additional backdoor equity with because I got hearts instead of like clubs, spades, or diamonds.
Yep.
But all right, that's that one.
All right, there you go, guys. 30%.
30%. Okay.
Only 30.
Hmm.
Okay. So then, if it's 30 with the money that's in the pot, and what were we being offered? Did it say?
You can reshare now. I just wanted to show that. You can share.
Raise jam. Okay,
Brandon.
makes sense.
All right. Want to reshare and show one more hand and then we'll call it?
Yeah, I'll show one more. Let me see which one I want to.
So let's see what are you being offered on? Show us here what price you're being offered on turn. Knowing you're getting 30% equity. So here in this same hand, just go back to turn. When
That's definitely good
I'm
enough.
sorry, flop when he check raises. So go back one. Okay, so 30%. So we're getting exactly the odds.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
One more hand.
Take it.
yeah.
Last hand declared, guys.
All right. Let me see which one. Which one? Let me just go with this one. I'll just go with the next one.
All right.
King 9 under the gun. Can't remember which table this is. Get 2 callers from the small. Well, no, from the small blind and the big blind. Flop king high. Checks to me. I bet my king.
Probably not mandatory.
Yeah, I would check a lot here. I mean, question another, I'm not people under check raise, but a check raise here would really suck.
Yeah, this is a king you can check to protect your checking range, I guess.
Bingo.
Okay.
But we love that turn.
That's a hole for me. I gotta work on that.
He checks to you,
Okay.
so
like half pot.
Yeah.
check raise here really sucks. He calls.
Calls. So then the ace on the river. And
That
then
would be
he
So this is one of the most, well, this is an underbluffed line. He's offering a really good price. Let's classify your hand. Do you have a hand that beats value? Or do you have a pure bluff catch?
I would say
It's a
this
bluff
is
catcher.
bluff catcher.
So you have a bluff catcher. And we know this is an upper bluff, under bluff line. He's claiming he has 5-3.
when they donk into you on the river here, it's like so
I-
often value.
I think you can
felt
overfold here.
It felt disgusting when he led here, and I'm like, okay.
So his bluffs are around busted clubs. He's claiming a very, very narrow range of essentially 5-3 or very weird, strangely phrased trip fours. You know that this is ultimately under bluffed. Your hand now is marginal when the ace comes. I think you can overfold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like even yeah, I mean that's exactly what I thought. I ended up folding it, and because it's like it just seemed like
Gross.
yeah, it was just a nasty one.
Yeah, no,
So,
it's
yeah.
I mean, it's a slow played 4
Or he just beat his
5-3
ace,
or
ace
dunked an
five,
ace.
something like that. Like
I don't see a lot of 5-3, but yeah.
we know generally it's an under bluff line, so I think you
Yeah.
can just follow.
Okay, makes sense.
Sucks though. All right, guys, tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to go over the Hungry Horse video. Everybody has homework. Watch the
Equity in my
video,
homework.
come with questions. It's a pretty good video. It's pretty complex.
Hey, Larry.
I'll rewatch it and then we'll go over it tomorrow. Does that sound a good plan?
Can you put it
Yes,
back
sir.
in the chat for me real quick? Because when my computer timed out, I lost the chat.
Sure.
I'll send it over. I got it right here.
Yeah, it's in there.
Appreciate it.
Oh, never mind. Mike's on it.
Both of you.
Alright.
All right,
Larry.
I'll watch that tonight. Appreciate it.
Larry,
All right, guys.
Larry, can you post that link and say that that's what we're going to do tomorrow, like in the Discord where the events tab is, so that people that are going to join us.
Should I be concerned about stepping on the toes of,
Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, never mind.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
probably not. So do you want us to just pick out things that we found interesting or spots that we want to discuss and then just bring that with us?
Yeah, art spot, yeah. Let's do that. And then,
I'll have
Maybe-
some hands hopefully for us tomorrow too. Because
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
about to
And
head
then
over to the
also-
poker room.
maybe if there's any of his particular spots, and we're like, well, I wonder what Solver does. Are we even more interested? We say, I bet Solver plays that really different. Bring out those hands, bring a timestamp, like anything you want to talk about, have the timestamp for that video, and then we'll go over it.
Sounds good.
Later.
All right, guys. Talk
Thanks,
tomorrow.
guys. Have a good one.
All right.